He's a defensive back on North Texas, and his name is Mobility. His name is Mobility.
Come on, there's no way. Mobility. That's fucking insane.
All right, Billy, I need you to repeat what you just said.
I'm starting to understand why John Morant flashes guns in all of his Instagram lives.
Okay, that's a great way to start this episode.
No, because
how are you relating to John Morant in his current situation?
No, because we were talking about locations and stuff like of that nature, and I was thinking about when we were on Instagram Live on the Macrodosing page the other night, and I was like, someone could just run up in here knowing where we are, and we'd be caught lacking. And I totally understand why John Morant would be flashing a gun to show, hey, if you know where we are, I got it on me. Like, I can defend myself. And it just makes perfect sense in relation to, other individuals who've been on Instagram Live and unfortunately gotten killed later.
But you think that people are watching your Instagram Lives are like, oh, I know where Billy is. I'm going to go kill Billy.
Hey, I don't know. You don't know what's out there.
Yeah. Okay. I don't really know what us going live on Instagram has to do with John Morant, but I guess just protect yourself. I understand the idea, the concept of protecting yourself.
It's a deterrent.
Yeah. Maybe they're fake guns.
Start flashing Nerf guns.
Yeah. If people think that you have a gun, that's almost more impactful than you having a gun.
Let me just stop saying getting caught lacking. Take that out of your lexicon, please.
Okay.
By who? No. Who would catch one lacking?
The ops. Yes. Right.
Yeah. It's actually the exact same concept as nuclear warfare, what Billy's talking about.
Yeah.
If they think that you have it, then that's just as good as you having it.
Nuclear proliferation. Everyone has guns.
Billy will never in his life pronounce that word correctly.
I think I did a decent job. You said
decent really. As in, like, how many words are there, or how many letters are there? Nuclear. There's 7 words. You got 6 out of 7.
I was more talking about proliferation.
Oh yeah, you nailed that one.
Yeah, just credit where credit's due. Yeah, the first word I'll never get.
I almost said 5 when you said how many letters are in that. That was bad.
I don't
know why 5 came to my mind.
I don't have that skill either. Some people can do that. You can just be like, okay, how many letters are in Atlanta?
7.
That's what I do with my weird.
That's real quick though. There's songs that spell Atlanta.
That's what I do with my weird breaking down of words and numbers.
Yeah, so let's check back in on that, Mad Dog, because if you haven't been listening to Macrodosing for over a year, a long time, Mad Dog has this really weird, strange thing where she looks at words and she looks at people and she starts doing math in her head. Can you explain that again real quick?
Yeah, so a lot of people DM'd me after this and said that they do this too, but basically I look at words and then I break them down by sequence. So I look at macrodosing and I recognize that and I just do this in my head to entertain myself. I recognize it has 11 letters, so then I break it down. So it's like I like to break it down evenly. So I break up macro and then osing. So then I can break up the D, and the D is a symmetrical letter when it's uppercase. So then I can split that in half. So it's half of the D on one side, half of the D on the other. I'll do something like that.
No,
remember this?
No.
I vaguely remember you saying something. Okay, so
yeah. Like break down, like give me a word or a sentence.
But a D isn't vertically symmetrical; it's only horizontally symmetrical.
Yeah, but so I'll break it down like that, and then so that's how I break it down evenly.
So what is the D? Why does what does the symmetry of a letter have to do with anything?
Well, say it's like a G, like an uppercase G. I can't break that down symmetrically, so then that becomes a whole letter. So if the G wasn't if the G and the D switched, let's say, and the G was in the middle of macrodosing, then I can't break it down evenly because the G can't split. So then that hurts. it scratches my brain.
So your goal is to have a word with an odd number of letters in it.
No, it's usually I like even numbers.
But then there's no letter in the middle.
No, but the letter in the middle is kind of a deterrent. Like I like my name made line. I can break it up. I can break it up by 2s too, and I can also break up my full name. So Madeline Conroy, I can break that up. So 8 and 6. So then I can move the E to the Conroy and then make it 7-7.
Okay, so then when there is a word with an odd number of letters, you want the middle letter to be symmetrical.
I would appreciate it, or if it was, or if it was a factor of 3, like if it was
what?
If it was Godfather, I can do GODFATHER, and then I'm fine because then it's 333.
Wait, so really quickly, so your dream word would be bad, but with lowercase b and d and uppercase
No,
A?
I hate bad because bad's only 3. I can't really split that. But I would split it. I would be B and then I would be B and then D and then the A would split in half. But I don't like that. There's not enough letters.
A.
Yeah, then I would split in half.
But bad, you could all 3 letters are symmetrical.
But it's not the symmetry as much as it is. It's not the symmetry of the letter as much as it is breaking it down in groups. So like,
got it.
For Billy Football. Okay, I hate Billy Football's name because it's
not symmetrical.
It's not symmetrical, and it's not symmetrical, and it's 13. So 13 is a prime number, so I can't really break it down by anything. So then what I'll do if I have that is then I'll cheat and I'll make the space a letter. So then it's 14, and then I can break it down.
Okay,
I love how you say cheating.
Quick question about all this.
Yeah,
because I imagine that people out there are wondering the same thing that I am. Why do you do this?
I've been doing this since I was a little kid. I've always broken them down in my brain just to like kind of entertain myself, and I also don't make eye contact a lot when I talk to people. And a lot of the times it's because I'm thinking about what you're saying and then breaking it down in my head.
So
okay, do you get satisfaction when something's broken down? You're like, okay, that's done. Like you've accomplished a task.
Yeah, it like scratches a part of my brain that nothing else can. Or if I do a whole it's the best if someone says the whole sentence to me and I can break down the whole sentence and it works.
Oh my god!
So like
how much of your day do you spend doing this inside your own head?
This shit is exhausting.
Yeah, right. A lot of time, but like it's fun for me. Like I'm trying to think. Like I know. Oh no, it's a total nerd thing. But like if there's a sentence like I love macrodosing, and someone says that to me, then I'll break it down and it'll almost like light up in my brain of like you can do this. So then I can go I love macrodosing. Okay, so that's 11 plus 5, so that's 16. So then I can break it down and do 10 and 6 because it's like I love macro and then dosing. Or I can do 4, so I can do ILOV and then EMACRODOSING, and it like
so
it's the best.
You're gonna have a lot of people trying to diagnose you in your DM.
Yeah,
so
no,
just
I know.
Don't listen to them.
No, I know. There's a lot of people in my DMs as of late, and it's fine. But I've done this forever. And when I brought this up on the show, like I think it was like last March, I texted my parents after, and I was like, because this also has to do like the eye contact thing. Like I'm not looking at either of you right now when I'm talking about it, and I asked my parents if I got tested for autism, and they said no.
What's your favorite word
to break down?
In this context, yeah. Like a word that you look at and you're like, fuck, that gets me going.
Yeah. Honestly, my name I really like to do. And it's also because I hear it a lot. I also...
You hear your name a lot?
Yeah. So it's like I think about it. Yeah. Or just Madeline. Madeline's 8, so I can do 2 and 4. And I like shifting it like that. I also, for some reason, I really like Burger King. I like breaking down Burger King because I would pass it a lot. Growing up, there was one on my street. So I'd pass it all the time and I would always just do it in my head. So I like Burger King. And I also, I like anything where I can do like a macrodosing where I can break it in half and then split the symmetrical letter. But
there's
if it's
definitely a term for whatever it is that you're doing.
I know,
right
and
now.
I don't know what it is. If anyone wants to let me know, but people say that they do this too. But I do it, and I also do it with numbers.
Numbers makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Like explain how you would do it in numbers.
So, numbers
do literally break down
like
so
that.
Makes sense.
But if I'll do it with numbers like correlated to letters. So if you were saying like 9 or 12 or whatever, then I'll in my brain be like, what's a letter with 9 or what's a word with 9 or whatever, and then I'll break it down from there. And then I'll just do it myself. I
do get the numbers thing. Some numbers are bad and some numbers are good.
Yeah, it's like the sharp versus soft numbers or whatever. Yeah. I just mainly do it with words or sentences. Or
I saw phrases. A TikTok recently that was a guy that was like, it was a bunch of random things, but there were 2 shapes. One was like kind of wavy, like a circle that was with waves in it. Another was very sharp angles. And it said, which of these is I forget the words he used.
It's like Kiki and Bobo.
Yeah, it was some nonsensical terms, and everybody in the group that he was asking said this one and this one.
Yeah.
Bobo is the good one.
Bobo is the soft one. Kiki's the sharp one, yeah.
It wasn't exactly that. I know what you're talking about, but it was something very similar. Yeah.
Bobo is sharp.
No, Kiki's sharp.
Kiki is sharp, and Bobo is soft.
Yeah.
Yo.
But yeah, I just like doing that in my free time.
You know like what Billy's describing right now, though, about how some numbers are good and some are bad, that's a central plot point in that show Severance. Billy's living inside the computer in Severance.
Sure.
Severance.
And that's their job. They stare at a screen and they look for bad numbers and they take those bad numbers and they put it into a bin, but nobody knows what it does. So Billy, what is 7 a good number or an evil number?
Evil number. Evil.
Bad number.
Yeah.
Bad number because it's prime. 8's a great number.
8's good. 8's good.
43.
Bad.
47.
Bad.
Look,
I'm just going on gut instinct here.
Yeah, that's what it is. But it's like you're right.
Is this just the even odd thing?
No, all the prime numbers.
No, I would consider 8 a bad number. I don't like 8.
No, but you can do 2 and 4 with 8. And
okay, wait. Arian might be onto something, though. I think Billy just doesn't like odd numbers.
No, prime numbers are really bad.
Well, give me an even number that you like.
An even number, 2, 4.
You mean odd number that he likes?
Oh yeah, you want an odd number? 5. Yeah, 5's good.
Odd, yeah.
5's good. 5 and 1 are good.
13. 49.
49's good.
Bad.
49. 49's good.
Embrace debate.
49's okay. Because 7 times 7. That's why it's good.
Because you can break it down. And then 7 and 7 stack on top of each other because they're the same number.
You guys are so weird.
Madeline just made a little, like, her shoulders moved ever so slightly when you said that you could stack when she said she could stack the 7s on top of each other, and it was like she was physically satisfied by the thought of whatever that means.
Yeah,
I think Madeline is a computer.
No, I'm not that smart. I wish I was.
Wild to me because it's like y'all be walking around in your heads thinking about this. Wow, I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's like. This is a wild thing to walk around thinking about, like throughout the day. Like,
yeah, I know.
You know what's crazy? Turns out some people think different. Now, when I say this, people are gonna be like, "What the hell?" But some people don't have an internal monologue where they see words or hear a voice in their head talking. Some people just only see images. It's weird. Like some people, like I saw this like scale of people can visualize things to different degrees, and some people can just like see a memory in their head, like a picture, and then some people can only sort of see an abstract conception of it, and it's really crazy to me.
Wait, hold on, you guys can't see memories?
No, people
I can.
can't. Some people can't. But some people don't have a voice in their head that just like is like talking to them.
Is everybody's voice in their head? Is it your own voice, or do some people hear their internal monologue in like Morgan Freeman's voice?
It's
so fired.
Mine's my voice.
Yeah,
well, that would be schizophrenia, wouldn't it? Well, I don't hear.
That's a good point.
But sometimes when I'm drifting off into dreamland, I think I'm having conversations with people.
Same.
That's
different.
You're sipping into REM. That's a normal thing.
But like there's a bunch of characters that I know, but I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
but like
that's normal.
I was thinking that was. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm gonna go schizo sometimes.
You know who I want to hear from Hank about this, because I'm sure that Hank has crazy internal monologue. I'm gonna see if he's around, because he has this thing where at the end of his day, he likes to imagine Joe Rogan is interviewing him about how his day went.
Oh well, like don't you guys pretend you're on talk shows all the time?
No.
If I'm home alone, like constantly, I'm talking to myself.
Yeah. Or I'll pretend I'm on Jimmy Fallon like all the time. Yep.
Like out loud. Yeah.
Like, what do you say? Give me an example. Give me an example. Mac, I want to hear an example.
I'll like pretend I'm on a podcast or something.
Yeah.
Like they're asking me questions.
Or I'll pretend that macrodosing went like crazy big and this was my start. And I'm on Jimmy Fallon now, and I'm recounting all my memories here.
So I used to sometimes talk to myself, but now I just talk to my dog when I'm home.
That's different. I don't have a dog.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So you sit at the table and pretend that you're being interviewed?
No, I usually do it in the mirror when I'm getting ready in the morning.
Okay. So
or the shower.
Or like if I have like a funny story that I would tell, I like pretend they asked me about that story and then I just like talk it out loud.
So let me get this straight. So you're in the mirror doing your hair or whatever, makeup, whatever, and you're saying, so well, that's funny that you asked because they walked up to me and is that what you do?
It's not like verbatim, like, oh, I'm on a talk show, but like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Mine's pretty verbatim.
This might be a gender thing because it's like when I was growing up, shit, I did it the other day. So I just got a basketball hoop put in my backyard, like one of the ones with cement. It's really dope.
Oh, nice.
And so, like, you know, I was coming home from golfing and I was walking and the ball was there. You know, I just put up a couple shots and, you know, I hit the, 3, 2, 1. You know, it's kind of like that with females with podcasts.
Yeah. In your backyard.
Yeah, very similar.
Arian gets the ball, dribbles to the
right. That's internal though. I don't say it out loud.
Okay, I'm calling Hank because I want to know what Hank has to say because Mackenzie, Hank does the same thing where
it's like the best.
Hey Hank.
It's so fun.
What's up?
Hey, you're on Macrodosing right now. We're talking about internal monologues, and we started discussing about how you like to sometimes pretend that you're being interviewed by Joe Rogan at the end of your day. Mackenzie actually does the same thing, just with different people interviewing her, and it sounds like Madeline does the same thing. But I'm curious to know when you hear your own thoughts, when you're having an internal monologue, do you hear them in your own voice or do you hear them in somebody else's voice?
I hear them. Also, it's not always Joe Rogan. I think that was the takeaway, but it's usually just being interviewed. It doesn't necessarily matter. It's never like specifically Joe Rogan. It's just like I'm on a talk show or like a late night show or something. I hear them in my internal voice, if that makes sense. Like, you know, you think your voice sounds different when you hear your voice.
Yeah.
So I hear it from my perspective. I don't like the way my voice sounds when I hear it like on a podcast or whatever. But I hear it through the way I hear myself, if that makes sense.
Got it. Okay. And when you're doing these interviews, are they always with people of note? Or are they sometimes with just like a person that you've invented?
Oh, definitely someone I've invented. Mm-hmm. Or like a relationship I've invented.
Yeah.
So do they have names?
No, I mean, it varies. It's usually pretty random and just pops up.
Are they
even like, you know, you see a girl on the subway and you fall in love with her, and then the next night you're in a hypothetical dinner situation with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you invented this person out to be like the love of your life, and you've never spoken a word to her.
Okay.
And you're talking about like your life.
Tell him I said this is like the beginnings of like serial killer.
Arian says this might be the beginnings of serial killer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, it is what it is. I don't necessarily know why it happens.
Actually, I don't think it's that unusual. I think that
you tell me Arian doesn't like see, like Arian never just falls in love randomly, like sees a beautiful woman is like falls in love. That's crazy. Is that crazy?
Arian says that he doesn't, but again, Arian is also he's had
that's just a lie.
many conquests. In his past. All right, thank you, Hank. This has been illuminating. I actually don't think that it's that weird.
Yeah, no, it's definitely weird, but it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. Have a good day. You got big meetings today?
Yeah, about to hop in one right now.
All right, close that Leroy deal.
All right, yeah, well, that was hilarious.
All right, see you.
All right, peace.
Bye. That's a little tease coming up. Leroy might be making me some money.
Ooh.
Or making Barstool some money, even though he's been dead for 2.5 years.
Well,
grind never stops.
does anyone think of like they're in a situation and then they think about that situation again and what they should have done in that situation?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, but that's like normal.
That's self-awareness. Yeah, that's very normal. But you walking in the subway, falling in love with a girl, and then later having dinner with her, that shit's wild.
Isn't that Black Mirror?
You go say, Arian, you don't fall in love with girls, and you're not in my head, bro. That shit's wild. I don't. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's of this ilk, but what I'm saying is like I've noticed like as you grow through life, like not everybody playing with the same deck of cards. I'm not saying Hank in general, but I'm saying like just think about what you think about on a daily basis. The wild shit that everybody else is thinking, like, yo, we're all experiencing an entirely different reality. And like, we're trying to find some kind of like semblance of like, meet me here.
Yeah. I wonder if you could ever do that with like a therapist that you invent in your own brain.
Oh,
like you have a conversation with a therapist, but then it all goes sideways because your imaginary therapist tells you all the worst things to do and all the, actually what would happen would be like, I guarantee you people have tried to do that while imagining Dr. Melfi from The Sopranos at the end of their day. And like, what would it be like to talk to Dr. Melfi? And then they just end up falling in love with her.
You know what's so insane? Like in dreams that happens, but like your subconscious is controlling the other person. Like there's like a total different being that's responding to you and you're having a conversation with, but your brain is just telling like that other person is, you don't know what they're going to say, but then they say it. It's like, that's so weird to me that
we're
in
doing
a dream,
AI.
Yeah. Like in your dream, your brain is tricking yourself.
It's just it wouldn't be AI.
No, but the person that you're creating, that's AI because
it's
they're
a
not real.
Chatbot. It's like a chatbot in your brain.
It's coming from an organic root. So artificial means like non-organic, right?
Well, what if somebody invented a chatbot? They programmed the entire chatbot. That's artificial intelligence, right? Even though it's been created out of somebody's own thoughts and actions.
See, I think we've had this conversation a long, long time ago, but I've always wondered that, right? Because I concede that point all the time, but I have a take where it's like there's really nothing that's not organic. There's nothing that isn't inorganic. When people are like organic, everything's
true.
Organic.
I think it may apply to just carbon-based things. Let me look up this specific, but. I think that is the definition of organic. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think from a chemistry standpoint, Billy's right.
Let's see. Organic. This is just Webster's. Noting or pertaining to a class of chemical compounds that formerly comprised only those existing and derived from plants or animals, but that now includes all of the compounds of carbon.
I think it's only carbon-based.
But then it says characteristic of, pertaining to, or derived from living organisms or organisms. So okay. So you're saying like if a beaver makes a dam, that's not organic?
Oh, it is organic, but like for example, metal is not organic.
But it's derived from an organic creature, and if
metal
by different, yes,
metal is not like
we make metal.
Right, but it's not like a beaver dam's made out of trees, which is all organic matter.
Like if a beaver could figure out how to synthesize steel,
that is organic.
Then that would not be organic. Organic also is like in a scientific standpoint, there's a difference between the organic that we're talking about right now and organic in a grocery store, which just means it's a good label that people put on things to make it more expensive because you think that it's better.
So I think our next big challenge in the future is going to be organic versus non-organic beings. That's going to be like the new polarized stance. Like, oh, you're organist, meaning like you're against non-organic beings, and like robot speciest. That's how like Elon Musk was saying the Google AI guy talked to him about him like being pro-human.
Yeah, it gets very complicated when you start talking about the at-home robots that Elon is inventing. Have you seen those? It's like everybody's going to want one of these in their houses. Is there a big demand to have robot butlers in our own houses?
I mean, I wouldn't trust mine. So I don't think I'm the market for it.
Yeah, it's very strange. We should just say Macrodosing is an organic podcast.
Yeah. Let's add that to the tagline.
The world's first organic podcast. That means we get to charge more for ad reads too.
Is LSD organic?
It's synthesized from chemicals.
I'm still confused.
Psilocybin might be.
How are we
Psilocybin is absolutely. Organic is carbon-based. Is anything that's from a carbon-based... Fuck, but does that mean petroleum's organic? Fuck.
This doesn't make any sense to me.
I think, Billy, the raw materials might be. So at some point you refine, I don't know, I'm not like an oil expert, but you have to refine
petroleum is organic
that you get out of the dinosaur bones.
Yeah, petroleum's organic.
This changes everything.
Fuck. But metal is oh man,
what about music? Is music organic?
Well, music's not, it's a sound wave. It's a vibration.
That's what I'm saying. If something is derived from an organic source, you guys are saying that's not organic?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a chemical composition. Like, for example, if I, make something out of metal, that's not like a car is made by organic beings, but it's not organic. Like, what's the least organic thing you can think of?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to.
So I think it has to be derived from organic chemically substance, like derived as in made up of.
Carbon is in steel. And so if we're saying carbon based, this is what I don't understand. Almost everything has carbon in it. Is there something that doesn't have carbon in it?
Like pure iron.
Okay. So iron is gotta be, it's the core of the earth. You telling me iron isn't organic?
Right, but it's not an organic chemistry is where it comes from. Technically, steel is made of iron and carbon.
So this is what I'm saying. This is like, so when you guys are saying organic, it never made sense to me. Like, none of this ever made sense to me. Like,
iron nearly always contains small amounts of carbon.
Okay, so alloys that contain carbon are considered inorganic. This includes steel, an alloy of iron and carbon. And allotropes of carbon, like graphite and diamond, are not considered organic compounds because they're simply one element, not a compound of elements. So it needs to be a compound, not an alloy. This is sophomore year chemistry's come back.
So single elements are not organic.
Correct.
Then that flies in the face of our colloquial use of organic.
Water is also not organic.
See, and now the term just doesn't mean anything anymore. It's like, I think, like, so it's like theory, right? So theory in science is very different than how we use it in society. Theory in science is like of the highest form of knowledge that we have, right? If something is a theory, like the theory of evolution, the theory of gravity, it's like the highest form of knowledge that we have. It's like we're so sure about it that we almost say it is an absolute certainty. But science always leaves room for error, but it's like almost it's the highest form that we know. But when we say theory, as far as like humans, like, oh, I got a theory why my cat keeps going outside, and like it's almost like a guess, right? But
yeah,
and if it's in the exact opposition of how science uses theory, like I'm getting those vibes from organic right now. But I didn't know the scientific definition of organic. I've never been into chemistry.
I think it's definitely been hijacked by the whole like
Whole Foods.
The Whole Foods. But being natural and all that jazz.
That's another thing. Natural was one for me too.
Yeah,
like this conversation is organic right now.
Yeah.
But is it though? Because
in one sense of the word, if we had sat down and scripted this entire thing out, which that would have been a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
Then that would be an inorganic conversation, but this is just organic. I don't even know how we got here, to be honest with you.
And like, what is natural is so debatable.
Well, I think, that was always my take. I was kind of like, organic and natural are kind of synonyms was in my head. But if we're talking about the scientific definition, then I can see how that parses with like the colloquial use of it, the everyday use of organic. But natural is of nature, that was I always use the Beaver definition for that. So they say if like anything that we make isn't natural, but I'm like, okay, if something in nature makes something, is that a dam is natural? And they were like, yeah. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I think like if it's on Earth, it's natural.
So one concept is existing in or caused by nature, not made or caused by humankind.
And it's such an arbitrary line to draw. Like why are we drawing our invention? Like so if an ape sometimes they use sticks to get termites out of the ground. Right. Like that's a tool. That's not natural.
That's natural.
I would say that too.
But it's not human.
But we're drawing this arbitrary line. I was like, everything else in nature is natural, but what we do is not natural. Like it's the same shit.
You know what?
We're just more advanced.
I think it becomes the lines blur when animals start to use inorganic matter. That's when it starts getting
it's the inorganic
unnatural.
You lost me with the inorganic matter thing.
From a chemistry standpoint, because sticks are still organic material. If a chimpanzee picks up a rock remember 2001 Space Odyssey? Ape, you should. It'll blow your mind. Ape picks up a rock, kills other ape.
What are you talking like that?
Wait, I'm forgetting if how they kill a jaguar or an ape in the movie, but they pick up a rock. I think that's the beginning of it not being natural in like humankind, because they took inorganic matter and used it to hurt somebody. Like they used an unorganic tool.
So if a nomad back in let's say hundreds of thousands of years ago, however long, right? 500,000 years ago, a nomadic creature that is not yet all the way Homo sapien, and I'm probably fucking the time frames up. He builds a shelter to shelter him from like a storm. Mm-hmm. That's not organic.
I think
it's not natural.
I think if he's using all, like, for example, gorillas make a nest every night out of plant matter, and birds construct nests. I guess if they're just using organic matter in building shelter, yeah.
So the manipulation. So what we're drawing the line is the manipulation of matter is what we're considering not natural.
I think manipulation of inorganic matter. So like a stone hut, I think is not natural, but like a nest or a shelter built of sticks and logs is technically natural. This is just my arbitrary thought on it.
It never made sense to me. Like, yeah, it was always like very fuzzy and arbitrary. PFT, what you reading over there, man? Are you studying?
I'm reading up on organic chemistry, and I'm reading all these words that just take me back to 10th grade, and I'm still not understanding any of it.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's fucked up that they make you study chemistry in high school. Our brains are not ready for that shit.
I liked it because it was like math.
That's a hot take.
When do you ever use chemistry?
I'm a chemist.
When you're trying to light different fires in different colors.
So arsonists.
Yeah, but like I'm pretty sure baking soda burns green.
Cooking is chemistry. You use chemistry every day.
Yeah, but I don't sit down and think like, what's the atomic number of this piece of chicken?
Well, in order to have a piece of chicken that tastes amazing with rosemary and all these different seasonings, somebody had to understand the chemical compositions in order to make that happen.
I think people just sit down. They're like, "This tastes good. I'm going to keep doing this."
But there's still a science behind it because you don't.
There's a science behind everything that you do.
Yeah.
I mean, chicken with acidic like lemon or vinegar on it is more tender. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what I'm saying. Like, I was watching this master class for like 3 months last year. I was like obsessed with watching dudes cook brisket. Like obsessed. I subscribed to all these YouTube channels, and I would just watch dudes cook brisket all day. And there was this dude talking how he was like, and it's chemistry. He was saying how different woods, like the different wood you use to stoke your fire, interacts with the meat in different ways and changes the chemical composition of the meat makes it tender, more juicy, whatever the case may be. And so like they have different woods that change the flavor and the texture of the meat. I was like fascinated by that. I had no fucking idea.
I have a question about those videos too, because I like those, Arian. I like the ones that show the entire process, and then you always have to watch until the end when they slice into it, and then they take it and they squeeze it, and you see the fat render out a little bit.
Oh my god,
it's sexual, isn't it? It's like
1,000 food porn.
Yeah, I'm always wondering why in those videos do the barbecue guys always have black plastic gloves when they slice it? No one ever uses like a white latex glove. It's always these black gloves that they put on to cut the meat.
It looks way fucking cooler. Those black gloves are like they're just so my barber uses them too. My barber uses black latex gloves, and it just, for whatever reason, the aesthetics of black gloves over, like, nobody uses the blue ones, right? Blue ones, that's what
surgical.
It gives hospital vibes, right?
Yeah. If I see somebody taking if my barber pulled out blue plastic gloves and put those on, I'm thinking he's going to stick a finger in my ass.
That's not the first thing I would think of.
That's what I think when I see those. You said surgical. Yeah. It looks like a hospital thing. It's like this guy's about to go in some hole.
What about that Blink 182 album?
They draw like blood with those blue gloves on, but you went straight to finger in the booty. I'm with you, but that was my first thought.
Yeah, the Blink 182. Is that a blue glove? Yep.
Yeah, Janine. Shout out Janine, a legend. What about yellow gloves? What do you think when you see yellow gloves?
Dishes, yeah.
Whoa. Dishes, yeah.
Gardening's
not
gloves.
Latex gloves, but when you say yellow gloves, I think yellow gardening gloves.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I'm talking.
Do they make yellow latex?
Yeah, no, but it's more rubber.
The rubber ones, I know what you're talking
about. The ones that have that little like herringbone pattern or whatever on them.
Yeah.
I think doing something with dishes for white. What do you think with white ones?
Chemistry experiments, science class.
I think like maybe nurse practitioner, maybe the person that comes in the doctor's office just to take your temperature and then leaves.
White and blue gloves are kind of the same in my head. Like when I see them, I get the same feel. But I also do understand the science class.
It's like white for me. White is somebody's going to take your blood pressure. Blue, that finger's going up your butthole. Yellow, we're going to we're working an industrial strength dishwasher, the one that you close down with a big top on it. And then black, that person's cutting in some succulent brisket.
That's wild.
It's like belts in karate.
Let me see. Are there differences between all these?
There might be. I feel like the black ones might be heat resistant to a certain level.
Good point, Billy.
But that might just be me thinking that.
Seems like it would be the opposite.
Yeah, because of the sun. Black takes more.
Absorbs heat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's talking chemistry on Macrodosing, the world's first organic podcast. How was everybody's Memorial Day weekend? It's been a while. We didn't have a show come out on Tuesday because we were out of the office.
Real quick. From yourglovesource.com.
Okay.
Oh.
Interestingly enough, the color of the glove does not in any way affect the quality of protection or strength offered by, I'm going to fuck this up, nitrile gloves. Nitrile gloves. Yeah. Traditionally, nitrile gloves come in blue hue in order to differentiate them as non-latex glove for people with latex allergies.
Oh. I forgot about latex.
This is fascinating.
Sneaky wearing nitrile gloves underneath your lacrosse gloves is a great way if it's like super cold to keep your hands warm.
Yeah, because when you take those off, your hands are always sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that with like in cold weather games. In cold weather games, like we would put, I mean, it didn't help crazy good, but I mean, maybe a half a degree or two.
Did you ever do the thing where you put like petroleum jelly on your arms?
Rub yourself down?
No, I had to carry a ball.
Defense would do it because they'd slip through blocks because no one could get a hand on them.
Holding, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I never saw anybody put
What were the tricks of the trade, Arian? I'm sure that you learned some stuff along the way or saw some stuff in locker rooms where guys either they believed that it helped and that was enough for them to do it, or just various things that they used to get an edge.
The biggest thing I saw was like supplements. Everybody had like some crazy fucking cocktail of supplements that they would take, or some powder that they would use, or some. It was always something. And all this shit. I didn't use nothing.
What about when you decide like how to tape up your hands or your arms or whatever? When guys put those like little sweatbands over their biceps, is there any science behind that, or is it just because it looks sweet?
That was all aesthetics. That was all.
It's like a cock ring.
You look good, you feel good, you play good. That's what that was. I remember we was in high school. That's when it started. When I first saw it like take off. We were in high school and you see dudes 20 minutes in the mirror before the game, making sure everything looks sweet, making sure the towel hanging off on the side with the correct length and all of that stuff. That shit carried through. So I was in the pros, and I know they now are allowed to like wear their pants above their knee. Like we couldn't do that. Like they kept finding us for it. We wanted to do it. We tried to do it, but they kept finding us for it. But like now they be looking sweet out there. I ain't gonna lie. And so we walked so they could run. But yeah, we was looking. That was the thing you see in the NFL locker room. It was never linemen though. Linemen didn't give a shit. Most linemen anyway. Most linemen just whatever out there, just raw dogging, no gloves, no whatever. But all the skill position players, nah, you in the mirror, you making sure that shit tight. You got a crinkle in your, because another thing that probably the average person don't know is, maybe you do, I don't know, but there's double-sided tape on the shoulder pads. So they put this double-sided tape on the shoulder pad, so when they put the jersey over, like it sticks on. So like that jersey's like stuck on the shoulder pads, and so like sometimes like you would have like a little crinkle like that, and so you had an equipment manager like straighten you out and shit. You know what I mean? Like it was very important. I had to feel symmetrical. With the left towel hanging on the side.
My maybe my most embarrassing part of my high school career came, I think it was my junior year. And I wasn't playing much. I was like fifth string wide receiver. And we were on the sidelines. Our offense was on the field. And our center, who's a good friend of mine to this day, he got sent off the field because the ref saw that he wasn't wearing a butt pad. And if you're a center, that butt pad can get in the way sometimes. So he tried to just not ever wear that like tiny little, maybe like tailbone. 2-3 inches wide, maybe like 5 inches long. You guys know what I'm talking about?
The tailbone pad.
I never wore one ever.
Yeah, so he tried to get away with not wearing that, and he got caught in the game, got sent to the sideline. He didn't have his tailbone pad, and the equipment manager didn't have an extra. And then he started looking around on the sidelines, and my coach came up to me, my receivers coach, the same guy that pulled his nutsack out one time. That was hilarious, though. He came up to me, and he was like, I need you to give him your pad. Basically saying, like, you're not getting in this game. You're the last person who needs a full set of pads. So I had to take my belt off on the sideline, unroll my pants. I had like the offensive line, not the starters, but the rest stand around me to like block me. So I had to like roll the back of my pants down, take my butt pad out and give it to him so that he could get back in the game and play. At that point, I think that's when I officially realized maybe I don't have a career as a professional football player.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it was emasculating. But I was the first guy to put my fours up in the fourth quarter. That was me. Always the first one up. Hey, you should be kissing our asses, Arian. Us guys that don't play, that set the tone for the fourth quarter by getting those fours up, gave you the drive and determination to go out there and play with full energy at the end of the game and close it out strong.
You guys did it, man. You guys amped us the fuck up. Are you the guy?
Yeah, they're the guys that all the starters.
Were you the guy that after every touchdown, like you was hitting the guy's shoulder pads, like good job when they was coming off the field? That was you?
Sometimes I didn't want to make it all about me. I was a team guy.
Okay, got you.
Look, pal, it's easy to play football when you're the star player and everybody loves you and it's fun. It's not easy to play football when you're going to practice every day and then you don't play and you just stand there. That sucks.
Tell me about the struggle, man. I'm listening.
Your football was a great time for you.
That's facts. Let me. You know what? You're absolutely right. I don't know that side. of.
It's not as fun. I can assure you.
I know both sides, and it's way better being a starter.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. There was another time I broke my finger. I fucked it up making a tackle on special teams. No big deal. Got the guy down. Punt return. I think I tagged him for 2-yard gain. It was sick. My hand got stuck in his shoulder pads, bit my finger back. I knew that my finger was fucked up at the end of the game. I still finished the game out because I'm a warrior. But then the next week at practice, my right middle finger is just throbbing. It's like some of the worst pain that I've ever felt. And we were trying to get our backup quarterback some reps because there was a chance that he might have to start because our starter was going to get pulled up to varsity. So I told my coach, I was like, hey, I can't catch them with my right hand. Something's really messed up with it. He's like, yeah, but we need to get this guy reps. So I need you to go out there, just you run a bunch of routes for him for the next 30 minutes, and we're going to throw balls to you. And so the backup quarterback was throwing balls to me. Every single one that hit my hands hurt like a motherfucker. And then our backup quarterback was like, okay, I'm done for the day. Then our coach was like, no, you need to stay out there and catch more balls because now we need to work on coverages in the secondary. So then he went out there and he started throwing nothing but high passes to me because he knew that my hand was fucked up and I was just trying to catch it with my body. He's like, that's not how you catch a pass. So he's throwing high balls to me for another like 30 minutes, just right into my hands. And I'm like, this really, really hurts. And I went to the doctor the next day. And my joint had completely sheared off from my finger and I had to get pins put in it just because my coach was like basically using me as cannon fodder. Like, this guy doesn't matter. If we need his body's probably always already broken. So let's just make him hurt worse because it might make our defense marginally better at some point in the future.
Damn. You was a
camp
body.
Football sucked if you weren't good at football.
Yeah.
Or you're just benched for no reason.
Tell him, Billy.
Yeah. No reason.
Tyler, give sound off on your coaches, bro. Go ahead.
No, it's in the past. I
not that far.
I sat on the bench so these NIL TikTokers could run.
Could start.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But good for them.
So every now and again, if you're Caleb Williams, it might be nice to toss a shout out to Billy Football for all the hard work that he did.
More, I see some kids who have TikTok followings on either teams I played for or other teams in the conference, and that shit just didn't fly back in 2017. And thought it was a distraction. Oh, you're Barstool kid, now everyone's a Barstool athlete. And they didn't understand it, so I don't blame them for it, but it's
your
sort of
man vibes.
Say again?
Give grumpy old man vibes.
No, but that's grumpy old man vibes kind of got me sad. I understand why nowadays, but
Billy, you ever think about how much money you would have made if you had played in the NIL era?
No, not. I don't really care about that. It's more I kind of got robbed of a fair shake because of the whole.
He's saying
stuff.
He was ahead of his time, is what he's saying. I was ahead of my time.
He's also low key blaming me and Big Cat.
I mean, I literally never mind. It's in the past. Okay. It's in the past. Okay. It's in the past.
It looks like it's currently heavy on your heart, man.
No, man. No. I don't want to think about it. Let's move on.
I don't want to think about it.
Billy just triggered himself.
He did.
And now won't talk about it.
Full circle. Talked himself into therapeutic help.
Got mad at himself.
Billy, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It's not your fault, man.
I'm sorry, Billy.
So there was a UFO meeting.
No, stop. Would you rather have played more in college football or have your job now?
That's how I've sort of reconciled it. But back when I was I was trying to start so badly, but I was just written off, was the worst, broke me.
I need a straight answer to that
spiritually, question. I'm over it. I'm over it now, but there was a time where I was just spiritually broken.
Yeah.
Really
that's
which
not,
one?
I want you to know something, Billy. I want you to know something. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything wrong.
No one did anything wrong.
Your coach just had his own issues that he was dealing with.
It wasn't his.
And that's unfortunate.
No, that's not it at all. He just didn't. I love everyone who coached me. I don't have any problems with any of the coaches.
Me, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if I was, if if I knew what they knew and experienced and had like pressure, I don't know. It's no one's fault. I don't blame anybody.
What do you think would be worse? Being the worst player on a great team, but you have to go out there and just get your shit rocked on scout team week in, week out, never get in a game, never even sniff the playing field, or to be a great player on a terrible, terrible team? Arian, what are your thoughts?
Great player. Every time.
Yeah. Well, what about, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is kind of going, he's been through it a couple times, right?
Yeah, but who wants to be shit? Who wants to show up and not be good at what you do? That's weird.
You get good memories though if you win a Super Bowl.
You get paid more.
That's very true. Are you happy for Nuke?
What happened?
He got released from the Cardinals.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, that's my dude, but I haven't talked to him about business in a long time, so I don't know what he's feeling. I don't know. So if he's happy, he's probably happy about it. Yeah, but
yeah, he was going to go into next year with who's going to be the starting quarterback on the Cardinals next year? Because Kyler's not going to be ready for Week 1. What is
his injury?
He tore his ACL last year. It's not Colt McCoy, is it?
He still plays?
He played last year. He might be retired.
Man, backup quarterback, the sweetest job in the world, dog.
Yeah, but Colt McCoy is the backup quarterback that, if he's on your team, he's going to start 2 games every year. He actually has to do work.
Not really. Kick it.
Yeah, it's going to be Colt McCoy, I think. I think he's going to start the season.
That's wild.
I see David Blau listed on their roster. And Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah, it's going to be Colt.
Driscoll.
Colt McCoy will win you 1 game every October, but you can't have him start like 4 games because then he's going to go 1-3. But he'll get you that 1 if he only has to play 1.
Colt McCoy. That's wild to look at a little human baby and be like, I'm going to name him Colt.
His name's Daniel.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad they didn't do that.
I'm pretty sure they named him Colt McCoy because they said, we're going to call you Colt because then you're just going to have to be the starting quarterback at Texas.
Is his name not Colt McCoy? Because that's a badass name.
It's Daniel Colt McCoy, I think.
His middle name's Colt.
Yeah.
That's fine. Colt McCoy is a good name.
That's
great name.
I might make my son's middle name, if I have a son, Colt, because it's a good, with my real last name, it's a good alliteration.
Yeah.
What is your last name?
I'll tell you later.
Football.
Yeah. Colt football would be sick.
Do you think people are gonna plot on you? Like if they have
people know your name.
People know your name.
People
it's Carter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just thought of it. Like, bro, nobody's
but you know what's weird? Bro. When nobody
gonna come to your New York spot and do nothing, fam.
No, but
this is a friendly environment.
The thing is, there's the majority of people are great, perfect. But there's like this small percentage that like find pictures of me when I was younger, and it's weird. It's weird.
Those people already know your name. You don't have to worry about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Those are not they're gone. They know your name.
I'm going to go through some skill or some offensive positions on a football field. And if you were to name your child in order to optimize their ability to get that job as their career, tell me the names that we're thinking of here. Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Before we do, because I've spent many a day thinking about names in general, because certain names just flow. So in order for me to give you the first name, you're gonna have to give me a last name because it's gotta flow. Some names just flow. The best name in football ever, in my opinion, is Lynn Swan. That motherfucking name is sweet.
Smooth.
So I need a last name.
That sounds like
That's why I always hated my name. Foster's the wackest shit in the world. It's so stupid. Dumb name. I always hated my name. And so I never had a cool name. There are some dope ass names, but I need a last name. Give me a last name.
I mean,
I'll give you a dope first.
One of the best names, Barcavius Mingo, for an outside linebacker is.
That's pretty dope.
That's awesome.
That's good. What about a quarterback? Colt is probably the best name for a quarterback, right? Or Matt.
Yeah,
Matt.
No.
Ton of Matts out there.
We don't see skill set. What's his skill set? Give me a skill set.
Well, gunslinger. Colt,
give me the quarterback that we're naming. His
okay, pocket passer.
6'3",
225. Right-handed. Takes a little bit too many chances, but he also throws a lot of touchdowns.
Okay, gunslinger. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, Colt. It's the closest thing to a gun. I mean, that's why I think it's so good for Colt McCoy.
Okay, I'm not hating that right there.
Yeah, but what's some other maybe Kolesnikov?
Colt Robinson, I think, would be a hell of a pocket passer.
Oh, I got you. Mark Kissinger.
Oh,
Mark Kissinger.
I like that. Yeah. Mark Kissinger, perennial Pro Bowler.
Oh yeah.
Probably never wins a Super Bowl. But he gets to the playoffs almost every year.
Do you remember them old like Madden games where you can like create a player and you would make up a name? Bro, I did this shit all the time.
Oh, I got a good one. Brock Armstrong.
I like
that. That's a gun. That he's not a gunslinger. He's just got a big ass arm.
Nah, I like Armstrong.
Yeah,
I like that.
What about a running back?
Oh,
square shoulder pads, more of a downhill guy, bruiser. Let's say 230.
Okay.
Brutus
doesn't have breakaways. Nah, I think I like Deuce.
No, Brutus Hammer.
I think you made a fullback.
Yeah, for sure.
This guy. Well, I thought we were talking about a north-south back. Brutus
how about
Hammer?
4'5", 4'6" guy.
Yeah, about that. I was thinking Deuce O'Neal.
I like that one. I like Deuce O'Neal.
He doesn't sound fast enough.
He's 4'6".
Yeah, but the name isn't fast enough.
I disagree. Deuce O'Neal is.
He's like I'm thinking of like
quick. He's not fast.
Yeah.
Deuce O'Neal is quick. He's not fast.
I'm thinking of like a TJ Duckett guy.
All the O'Neals I know
player.
are like red-faced, and that's my
You're
opinion.
racist against Irish people. That's what that is.
Well, no. That's
that's all
just,
that is.
I know too many of them.
Yeah, you're racist.
And I am one.
Or prejudice. We'll say prejudice.
Okay, here, Arian, I want you to take this one.
Okay.
5'10", 170 pounds, runs a 4.31 wide receiver.
Ooh.
He used to return kickoffs in college, but now he's too valuable, so they don't let him do that anymore.
Okay. God, the issue with this is I'm having like so many like flashbacks of dudes that were that.
Yeah.
Like the first one that came to my head. Do you remember Rocket Ishmael?
Oh yeah.
Bruh. That was a fire one. Let's see. Ooh, I got it. Quan it's hella fucking stereotypical. Quan Ellis.
Ooh.
And
okay,
is Quan short
he's a white guy though, Arian.
Oh fuck!
So you're actually racist for thinking I was talking about a black guy.
No, I was playing the odds there. We have to say my numbers. It's white dude. For what?
Let's say 4'3".
No.
Okay, I'm gonna go. His dad probably got him around brothers when he was real young, so he got a little swag to him.
He's got a nickname. He's got a nickname.
Yeah, definitely gave him a nickname. So I'm gonna go. His name is Mike, but they ended up calling him Mickey, right? Yeah, everybody called him Mickey. So we're gonna go. Mickey Steps. Yeah,
Mickey Steps.
Mickey Steps.
Yeah,
no,
that's a great name.
Steppes.
Yeah, there might be a little too much flavor on Mickey to satisfy Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I don't think they would. He's definitely going to the Raiders.
Mickey Steps. Dude, I would draft Mickey Steps so high in fantasy football.
The thing is,
based on name alone.
Swift is a last name. I know there's one very recently, but Swift I feel like would be a great last name for any of those speedy backs. Like a what's a good first name?
Jeremiah.
Like a jacked Swift.
Wait, hold on. Isn't there a Swift that plays for the Lions?
DeAndre Swift. Yeah, Jack Swift sounds like a guy from like 1942.
Dog, my homeboy I grew up with. To this day, I have not seen anybody with more bunnies than him. He had bounce. He could jump. Yeah. I'm talking about dude could touch like, you know, the top square of the basketball. He could like put his hand on that. He had ups. His name was Terrence Sweet. That was his name. Terrence
That's
Sweet.
incredible.
My dog is Terrence James, so it's Terrence James. So we call him TJ. Terrence Sweet. He had the coldest fucking name I ever. Dog, Terrence Sweet. His real last name was Sweet. That's crazy.
Damn. TJ Sweet.
I thought of another one. You remember the wide receiver for Texas, Lima Swede?
Oh yeah,
fire name.
I thought that dude was gonna be awesome in the pros.
Yeah, he didn't pan out.
Didn't really. I've always been upset that T. Higgins is a big wide receiver on the Bengals. Like he's probably, I don't know how much he weighs, but I think he's like 6'4", probably 215, 220, something like that. That to me, that's a wasted name on a guy that could be a 5'10", 190-pound slot guy. That's just the quickest dude that you've ever seen in and out of breaks. T. Higgins would be such an awesome, small, fast guy name.
Yeah, it does sound like it. We're forgetting one. The best name of all time, and it's because of him, but it turned into an actual football verb, is Moss.
Yeah,
Randy Moss. Like he was so fire, his name was a verb. Got mossed.
Yeah. Best defensive lineman name of all time, Frosty Rucker.
That's kind
of. Is that a real name?
Also, I mean, Ndamukong Suh's pretty sick too.
That's wow. Yeah, Ndamukong Suh. Warren Sapp. Even though he's a fucking punk. Warren Sapp.
Vince Wilfork.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Will Fork is like Will stuff holes. Will Fork.
John Abraham, I always liked.
That's a good one.
That sounds like I don't like that one.
Really?
No,
he was a beast.
Abraham. I'm not saying he wasn't good at football. Do some names.
I like the name though. That's a good defensive end. That John Abraham. You just see stout like that guy's.
I feel like
Abraham's biblically stout.
Yeah, yes. John Abraham is going to be stacked.
First Testament stacked.
Who's that famous fucking lumberjack?
Oh, Paul Bunyan.
I think of Paul Bunyan when I hear John Abraham. That's what I think of.
That's good. That means you're.
Yeah.
Dick Butkus.
Yeah, we don't talk enough about the fact that the dude's name was Dick Butkus.
That's why he was so mean.
Yeah.
That's why he was so mean.
Named Sue.
Yeah.
Ooh, LeVar Arrington.
Mm-hmm.
LeVar Arrington is a fire name.
This is a great game.
It's funny because when you read the list of Houston Texans quarterbacks, they do sound like they were all generated using this artificial intelligence that we're doing right now to come up with backup quarterback names like Sage Rosenfels, Brock Osweiler, TJ Yates, Case Keenum.
TJ Yates, good quarterback name.
Yeah, great quarterback. Brandon Weeden.
I forgot about dude.
First round
Jeff
pick.
Driscoll.
By my Browns.
At, I believe, 28 years old.
Yep.
First rounder.
That's wild.
Okay. Big T, give me the name of a left guard. We're like real fat guy, super fat, big ass.
I was looking. So every year I do a blog on National Signing Day of the best names. So as we were discussing this, I went and looked at it. There were two this year. There was an offensive lineman at Virginia Tech named Hans Hammer. That's a great offensive lineman name. And there was another one named Brock Knutson at Nebraska. That's a big old boy. Brock Knutson. There's no chance Brock Knutson was going to be less than 6'3", 280.
Brock Knutson definitely drives a riding lawnmower around campus instead of a golf cart.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know there's many people named Brock. That's wild.
Yeah. Once you get to the plains, past Chicago,
the Whites love Brock.
It's a fact. If you look at North Dakota State University, they're the Bison, right? They're the ones that are always in the 1AA or FCS national championship. Everybody on that team has the same general aesthetic look, and they're all like various iterations of Big T. Like they all have red facial hair. They all have close cropped haircut that's like definitely has a tint of red to it. A couple freckles here and there. They're just all Big T. What nationality are you if you go back and trace your lineage?
He's from Georgia.
American.
Yeah, they're all American.
I think a long time ago, some of my dad's family was from Germany. Like a long time ago.
Probably like the northern part of Germany, close to Denmark, maybe.
Is this a geopolitical joke?
No.
I don't know.
Saying, because the guys in North Dakota State, they all look a little bit like a mix between German and Scandinavian.
It's Vikings spread the red hair across Europe. That's commonly known.
You know what another great name is? I was doing some research because on the Barstool Bowl this year, I tried to put together a team of the best names. Me and Brandon went through all the names in college football and came up with the best ones. We found a guy that I had never heard of before. He's not listed on any other name list, or he has no notoriety yet, but I hope he's going to be great. He's a defensive back on North Texas, and his name is Mobility. His name is Mobility.
Come on, there's no way.
Look him up. That dude's going to be a star. We put up a list of our best names on the Barcelona Instagram account. I think Kevin Durant was like Mobility, the greatest name I've ever heard. I think it might be MOH. Ability.
Correct. MOHBILITY.
Mobility. That's fucking insane. Well, then here's shit funny. No, Maddie and Mac.
Yep.
If I was to tell you, because this is a real dude, he was a very famous running back in the day. If I was to tell you his last name, give me a guess of his first name, right?
Mm-hmm.
His real last name is Biaka Batuka. All right.
And I'm supposed to guess his first name?
If you was to just guess his first name, what do you think his first name would be?
I feel like the way you're saying it's something like John or something. Like
Matt.
Yeah.
I would guess Brock, but that might just be like because we've just been saying it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something like John.
Okay. What's your guess, Mac?
I don't know. I'll take the same path. I'll say like Tyler.
Yeah. It was close. It's Tim.
Wait, what's his last name? How do you say it?
Tim Biaka Batuka.
Biaka.
I think it's an African name.
What is he? Yeah, I was gonna say, what is he like? What's his ethnicity?
Yeah, it's not American.
I was thinking he might have been Samoan.
Yeah.
Nah.
Tim Biaka.
But that's not his real name. His real first name. His real first name is Tishmanga.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that.
Tishmanga?
That was gonna be my second guess.
Yeah, Tishmanga.
That could be a fire chorus to a song, like Mo Bamba was. How do you say it?
Tishmanga.
Tishmanga Biaka Batuka. Tishmanga Biaka Batuka.
Name, dog. I never knew his first name. I always knew.
I could play this game all day.
All right. So
it's very fun.
All right. So let's do an all name NFL team. Okay. Best name ever.
They had to hold on. They had to play in the NFL.
Yeah. Best name ever for quarterback.
Name, not ability.
Yeah, just name.
Yes.
Mobility.
But an actual player.
Joe Montana, hard to beat. Ability aside, that is an all-American, you're going to be the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers name.
Joe Theismann's pretty good. But
Joe Theismann's a piece of shit. And I say this as a Washington fan. Joe Theismann is the biggest dickhead. He's known around DC as being just the biggest prick ever. He changed his name. So his name was Joe Theismann.
I know.
When he was in college. He changed how he said his name
for the Heisman
to try to campaign for the Heisman Trophy so that it would rhyme. And then he lost. And then he had to live the rest of his life with a fake ass name that's a constant reminder of the fact that he lost the one award that he really wanted in college.
And a compound fracture.
I mean, injury aside, I'm not just because the dude just because Lawrence Taylor dove into his leg on a Monday Night Football game doesn't mean that he's going to get remembered any differently for me. I'm sorry that he broke his leg, but now
I'm sorry you broke your elbow, but I don't care.
Now he's reduced to doing prostate commercials and having to say his name, which is not even his real name, on TV all day. I think Joe Montana. I think Big T's right.
Yeah, Joe Montana.
Yeah, another one who's also a piece of shit, but Brett Favre is a fire fucking name.
Yeah,
Brett Favre.
Okay, so we got Joe Montana, quarterback.
Okay, one more. Randall Cunningham.
It's a good name too.
That's a fire name.
Yeah. All right.
I'm cool with that's those are our three.
That's our depth chart.
Yeah, we got a depth chart.
Okay, best running back name.
Oh,
DeAndre Swift is pretty goddamn good.
I was gonna say I like Walter Payton.
Yeah.
OJ Simpson is also pretty good.
Nah.
People forget the Juice put up numbers.
Look.
People don't talk about that.
Separating the art from the artist.
You allegedly murdered 2 people and they forget about the Heisman campaign.
It was his son. It was his son.
The juice was fire, bro. That's
juice
facts.
When the juice was loose.
Like, I'm joking, but he actually was like unreal.
No, I'm not. This nigga he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
he's one of the best running backs of all time. Had 2,000 yards with 14 game seasons.
That's crazy.
Come on, bro.
I like Walter Payton at running back. I feel like
Mercury Morris.
A name I always liked, Warwick Dunn, always sounded like a running back to me.
Warwick Dunn. An all-time great human being as well, dog.
Yeah, really good dude.
Just a good dude, man.
Also,
he built Deshaun Watson's house for him.
Yeah, he built houses in Atlanta for poor families and stuff.
Yeah, it was
butterfly effect.
It was for single women. The butterfly effect.
Like if Warwick Dunn hadn't built that house.
Listeners, if you have some great names, feel free to tweet at the Macrodosing account.
Thanks, Billy. Well, fullback.
Live right now, the fuck.
I got 2 names for fullback.
There's one name. There's only one. There's 2. You're right. I got 2.
Yeah, there are 2.
Okay, give me your one.
Lorenzo Neal.
Oh, okay. I was gonna go with that.
And then 2, Max Strong.
Not Mike Allstott.
Yeah, you're missing the 2 biggest ones.
I know. I'm not talking about the best running backs of all time.
No, names, bro. Names. William Floyd.
Okay.
William Floyd, and then Mike Allstott is a fire fucking name.
Listen, I love Mike Allstott. I've got a signed Mike Allstott jersey in the other room right now. He's one of my favorite players of all time. But if we're just talking like great fullback names, Mike Allstott is only a great fullback name because he was a great fullback. Max Strong.
I disagree.
Allstott.
It sounds strong. It sounds like brute strength.
If he was all stats, then he would have been a tailback that only cared about his touchdowns. But he was all stot and he cared about hurting people.
Also,
but I think, how can you get better than Max Strong and Lorenzo Neal?
Max Strong is just like Mac Truck Strong.
Lorenzo Neal is a basic ass name. You're only saying him because he was a great fullback.
Yeah,
Lorenzo is a fantastic name for a fullback.
Lorenzo's too Italian.
Neal gives me.
Neal is submissive. He has a submissive ass name.
He kneels before God.
That's a good point.
He kneels. I kneel
he
for
has
no
the
one.
weakest name.
I don't need my fullback bending the knee.
Yeah.
All right, fair. I'll take constructive criticism.
Literally, his name translates to Lorenzo Tebow.
Or
I stand by Max Strong.
Let's go with William Floyd then.
William Floyd is you can't get more basic of a name than
Floyd
that.
is a fire last name.
That's pretty basic though.
There's actually a kid from my high school named William Floyd, but we called him Billy.
Bill Floyd. It's because I have the early 2000s Falcons on the brain after saying Warwick Dunn, but Ovi Mahaley, good fullback.
How about my fullback, Vonta Leach?
Oh, great name.
Yes.
All right.
Great name. I like that. There's a couple Polacks in there too that were missing out.
Yeah, some skis.
Some skis, which literally translates to downhill, which is what you want in a fullback.
Yeah.
There was that running back when I was playing with the Raiders named Marcel Reese. I think it give me fullback vibes though.
I mean, Aaron Ripkowski is pretty damn good.
Yeah. How could I forget about
Aaron Ripkowski?
The A Train. John Kuhn was good just because people in Wisconsin would just, every time he touched the ball, they'd just be like, Kuhn. Yeah. And then when Ripkowski took over for that first season after Kuhn, out of force of habit, they would see just a big, beefy white dude carry the ball for 3 yards and be like, Kuhn.
That's wild. Never get no black fullback.
Has there ever been a black fullback?
I said Ovi Mahaley.
Packers. No.
Oh,
We've
Packers.
named several. Oh, okay. Yeah. I stand corrected. All right. I vote Max Strong as fullback name.
Max Strong starter.
I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
You can't. There's not the roster space to have a backup fullback.
Yeah.
No. Wide receiver.
Randy Moss for sure, number
Easy.
one.
Yeah.
Easy. Lynn Swan.
Yeah.
I do feel like we're naming like Hall of Famers, and we should get some guys. But Randy Moss, obviously number one. I'm not. But
okay,
Chad Ochocinco.
No, that's not organic. How about his teammate TJ Houshmandzadeh?
Oh,
that's a good name, but it's not necessarily.
But that's what I'm saying. So like most if you like, so like Jerry Rice, that's a fire name.
Yeah. I'm the way I'm playing this game is I hear the name and think that guy should have his job at that position.
Okay, I got you. So Randy Moss, easy.
Like Houshmandzadeh is a cool name, but it doesn't make me think like, oh, that guy should be a professional football player.
Got you. Okay. How about Lima Swede?
Yeah,
Lima Swede is like a very like smooth.
Did he play in the NFL?
Yep.
Yeah, he played for Steelers, I believe.
Yep. Second round pick. Kind of played for them. One wide receiver that I think is more of a tight end name is David Boston.
R.I.P.
David Boston sounds like a running back to me.
Wait, David Boston died?
Yeah, didn't he?
Wait, what?
Didn't he?
No.
Am I fucking up? Is he alive? Shit,
I am seeing he is alive and well.
Yeah,
at the age of 44.
How did I think? Oh, I was thinking of Vincent Jackson. That's my bet.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Stay in the room for a while.
David Boston.
Around David Boston.
Please get a checkup.
Okay,
His
wide
birthday's
receiver
coming up this summer.
Wide receiver Plaxico Burress. That's a great,
that's
great
Plax.
receiver name.
Okay. Oh, Percy Harvin.
I like that as well.
Come on, Percy Harvin. That's fire.
I mean, Tyreek Hill.
Pierre Garcon is a great wide receiver name.
Who?
Pierre Garcon.
No.
Nah, that nigga.
Sounds like he should be working in a patisserie or whatever.
Team food or something.
Yeah, Garcon.
A patisserie.
He sounds like the waiter at a French restaurant.
The French restaurant down the street from my apartment.
What blanked.
Okay, tight end. Best tight end names.
Rob Gronkowski. I mean, you can't argue with that.
It's a pretty good name.
Antonio Gates, good strong name.
Algie Crumpler.
Yeah. OJ Mayo.
OJ Mayo, the
Is
basketball
this a different
player?
OJ Mayo?
No, wrong Mayo. Who? Wait.
There was a Mayo.
Gerard Mayo?
Wasn't there?
He's
Also not a tight end.
I think there was a Mayo tight end. I know.
Didn't he come out of?
I don't remember his name though. I don't remember his first name.
Oh no, OJ Howard.
Howard. Okay.
And there was Ron.
Very different guy.
Then Ron Mayo. Yeah.
I knew there was a.
Gerard.
I would also. I would like to add. We've got 3 starting quarterback names. I'd like to add a backup quarterback name to the roster. Coy Detmer. Perfect backup quarterback name.
I agree.
Is anyone keeping track of this for a graphic?
We can go back. Is this what dudes do when you guys like hang out?
I was going to say, I literally saw a TikTok last night of a comedian being like, I spent 48 hours with my best friend, and my wife asked, what'd you do? And I was like, nothing. She said, you're with him for 2 days. You had to do something. He said, okay, you want to know? We sat there and listed the best baseball team you could make out of guys whose first name started with R, who played at least one season in the 21st century. And he goes, Rafael Furcal, and goes on and names the whole team.
Like,
I could do that all day.
This is what goes on.
Okay, another great wide receiver named Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, Deebo.
See, that gives me fullback vibes. I don't really get.
No, Deebo is a fast.
Deebo just takes to the house.
No, it's not. We had a conversation last podcast about Deebo. Deebo is like a big, like it's like you hulky, like.
Yeah, but you can't tackle Deebo. Deebo gets
that's
yak.
Not a receiver name. That's what I'm saying. It's not giving receiver.
No,
vibes.
but Deebo gets yak.
But it's not because he's a receiver. That's what I'm saying. Like if y'all think Deebo is a receiver name,
it sounds fast to me.
Deebo gives Megatron vibes.
Well, no, because they're very different players.
I know, but still,
nah.
He's gonna take he's gonna go up and get the ball.
Vito, Deebo's a big ass dude. He was the bully on the block.
He'll bully you in the air.
Wide receivers ain't bullies.
Some are.
Which one?
Megatron bullied corners.
He wasn't no bully. He was just big. No bully.
Yeah, but he
did. I mean, he just destroyed corners. People.
He's just bigger than everybody.
Andre
no bully,
Johnson
man.
bullied Cortland Finnegan.
No, he punched him.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of him.
That's not a bully. You know what a bully is?
I know what a bully is.
What's a bully?
I used to be a bully. I'm reformed.
What's a bully?
It's someone who uses their intimidation and size to get what they want.
You're an antagonist. You're an antagonist. Megatron is not an antagonist. Andre Johnson was not an antagonist. They're like receivers are divas, dog.
True.
Okay.
Deebo was a bully.
Yeah, but a name for a bully wide receiver, like a wide receiver that's cut from.
You can't be a bully as a wide receiver. You're passive.
Offensive lineman.
Richie Incognito.
That's
Joe Thomas, I think, is a good hearty name.
Yeah.
I hear you chiming in, Maddie.
I just love Joe Thomas.
Yeah. Dependable Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
Cody Mauch, new guy from North Dakota.
teeth. No.
Alex Mack.
Alex Mack is a good one. I got a great one. This is probably your starting left tackle, DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. 100%.
DeBrickashaw Ferguson. Holy shit. That brought back memories.
Okay. So we only have one offensive lineman. Let's stick with that.
No, he said Richie Incognito.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Clark.
He got called for a lot of penalties for being named Incognito.
But he gets away with it. He gets away with holding most of the time.
I guess so, yeah.
He holds on every play.
Okay, defensive tackles. I'm just going to take Frosty Rucker right off the bat.
Let's get a Samoan name in there for a nose tackle.
Haloti Ngata.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Easily the best name.
Yeah.
Okay. Defensive end, edge rusher.
Oh, I mean Barcavius Mingo. Off the edge.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Outside linebacker. Clay Matthews. No.
I like Barkevius as our speed guy off the edge.
Ooh, I don't know, man. Dwight Freeney.
It's pretty good.
That's a pretty dope name.
What about linebackers?
I was still on
Butkus.
defensive end. I was going to say Mario Williams.
Brian Urlacher.
Nah, Mario Williams is kind of bland. Brian Urlacher is a fire.
Yeah, Urlacher
for sure.
Okay,
linebacker.
Linebacker. Wasn't there a guy named Slaughter?
Yeah, Slaughter. Was he on the Niners and he retired early?
I was cut his name from the Cowboys, number 11.
Micah Parsons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that gives me DBI.
Yeah.
I think it's Urlacher, bro. You gotta go Urlacher.
Yeah.
Brian Urlacher. Yeah.
Oh, another one. He's a Mike too, though. Is Ray Maluga?
No, Slaughter.
Yeah.
Slaughter was a QB.
No, there's another guy named Slaughter that I'm missing out on. Shit.
Who's the one?
Somebody's going to correct me.
49ers linebacker.
All right. Defensive backs.
See, now I'm just thinking about dudes that was nice. I can't. The names are it's tough.
Eric Berry.
That's fire.
That's pretty good. I mean, Troy Polamalu, great name.
TJ Slaughter was on the 49ers.
TJ Slaughter?
Yeah.
I think we found the problem with this game is you don't remember players except the ones that were really good. So we're picking from a very limited pool.
Yeah.
TJ Slaughter, linebacker. Yep, that's what we're going with. TJ Slaughter. He's a line. He played for a long time too.
Yeah, and I'm with Big T. I'm just now thinking of dudes that was nice that had cool names.
Yeah. Deion Sanders.
Cornerback.
Deion Sanders.
Fred Smoot, great cornerback name. Champ Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also one of the top 4 corners of all time.
Yeah. All right. Good session.
Good session.
Guys naming dudes.
Guys naming dudes.
It's my favorite game. It's my favorite type of activity.
I want to talk about something that's in the news this week. We've got an arms race going on between 2 of Hollywood's most beloved actors, most Italian actors of all time.
Yes.
So Robert De Niro last week announced that he just had a child and he's 79 years old, right?
Hey, yo.
Yeah, 7th child, 79 years old. And it was with his girlfriend, Tiffany Chen. I don't know how old Tiffany Chen is. She's definitely not 79. I would guess she's in her 30s maybe. But not to be outdone, his Godfather co-star, were they even in the same Godfathers? I don't know. Al Pacino.
The Irishman co-star.
Yeah. Al Pacino just had a kid. Al Pacino is 83 years old and his girlfriend is 29.
So something we need to think about.
That's a wild dynamic.
Do we think that these kids are actually theirs?
Why do you not think that they're theirs?
Just because of the mobility at that age of swimmers.
Mobility.
Yeah, but dudes still produce sperm until they die, I'm pretty sure.
I know, but I'm just wondering.
Like, did they actually P and V do it, or was this a?
Are they sure it's theirs?
IVF?
I'm just saying.
I think so.
I just.
There's ways to check, so
right. Yeah,
I don't think there would be. Yeah, I don't think they would claim.
But has
a baby was coming?
Wait, is the baby born? Is the baby born?
Al Pacino's is not born yet. Robert De Niro's
There's ways to check in the womb though that you can.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can take that test in the womb.
So how does that work? What's the relationship like if you're Robert De Niro, you just have a kid, it's your 7th child, you're 79 years old. I would imagine that he has some kids who are, let's see, 79 minus 25 or so. He's got some kids that are probably 54 years old, 50 years old. Mm-hmm. They have children that are going to be older than Robert De Niro's youngest child.
And their brother and sister.
So you're going to have an uncle who is probably 20 years older than you.
Or you're
I'm sorry.
Younger.
You're gonna have a nephew that's 20 years older than you. No. Your uncle is going to be 20 years younger than you.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Also, I mean, in the same way, that at some point, knock on wood, the kid's going to be without a father.
What do you mean knock on wood? You're hoping that they're going to die?
No, knock on wood, they don't. I'm not wishing upon it, but that's kind of fucked up.
Well, I mean,
it's almost kind of like, what's her face who just went to prison recently, having 2 kids. Elizabeth Holmes having 2 kids to stay out of prison, and then she's going to be away from them for 11 years.
I'm saying it's irresponsible because.
Yeah, I mean, I know they probably didn't think that they thought they were shooting blanks, but
I don't disagree. 100%.
We don't talk about Robert De Niro in the same way that we would talk about Antonio Cromartie. Basically, he is he's the Antonio Cromartie of actors. He's got 7 kids, 3 or 4 different moms. Like, he's spreading it out there.
What about
also,
Nick Cannon?
Yeah, Nick
I would like to publicly apologize to any slander that I've ever put on Antonio Cromartie's name, much like I actually just did a second ago. I think he's got a vast majority of his kids with his now wife that I think she just had twins. This dude has shot sperm through 2 vasectomies. Like, there's not a force on earth that can stop Antonio Cromartie from getting his wife pregnant.
That's wild.
That's possible.
Yeah, sometimes they just don't work.
Oh my gosh.
I think one of a couple would.
Oh, you know what? I might be getting confused. He got a vasectomy, and then right after he got the vasectomy, he got his wife pregnant with twins.
Yeah, there's like a period of time where you have to wait until it basically like kicks in.
You gotta get it all out of the system.
Yeah, you have to like clear house.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if your dad is 83 years older than you, that's got to be a real strange dynamic growing up.
But also that's a weird dynamic of an 83-year-old. And I ain't judging, y'all both grown, do what you do. But an 83-year-old to be sleeping with a 20-year-old,
yeah,
it's fucking
29-year-old,
crazy to me. That shit's crazy to me, dog. Like, we got nothing in common, dog, other than we both horny right now. Like, there's nothing we can talk about.
Do you think that she actually is horny for him? Or do you think she loves the fact that she's dating Al Pacino?
Yeah,
that's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think is it possible for a 29-year-old to be like sexually attracted to an 83-year-old?
She may rewatch Scarface.
Yeah,
a lot of people get sexually attracted to status. That's a real thing.
Yeah, or it's like Succession, Carrie and Logan. Like, she was attracted to his status.
Yeah.
Arian, what's the oldest woman you've been sexually attracted to?
Oldest?
Yeah.
Well, I'm different.
I know. That's why I'm asking you.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, but see, this is different, right? So, like, I would never try to procreate with an older woman. Like, you know what I mean? I understand, because I'm in a lot of these camps where y'all are talking about these fathers having lots of babies. I got a lot of kids. And so I understand the hardships of trying to co-parent in the city, you know, where I live in, and it's very hard. You know, it's taxing, it's emotional, it takes a toll on everybody involved. And so if we're that far apart, life-wise, like, we don't get along, like we get along to a certain extent, but like, our relationship is what our relationship is. There's no way I could procreate with that dynamic, because it wouldn't be fair to anybody involved. Now, I mean, I have definitely had kids with somebody who if I could take it back, I absolutely would. Glad my kids are alive, but like, that was just a bad decision on my part. And it's just turmoil that it brings and the drama that it brings. It's just very hard. So if you're 83 and you're 30, and then you have to, now if they're together, what's up? That's what's up. You know, more power to them. But if this is just like a one-off and she, you know what I'm saying, she's pregnant, it's going to be a hardship. And that's why I kind of let credit to what Billy was saying, was like, if 83, your clock is ticking, right? So by the time the kid is in high school, you know, your cognitive function's probably not even at top notch. So it's like, the guidance and the you know, the raising of the child, the rearing of the child, is going to be negligent. And so it's not fair to the kid more than anything. But everybody involved should know that and should understand that, and why it's not responsible to bring life into that situation. So, but people gonna fuck, man.
People gonna fuck. So Al Pacino's girlfriend, she used to date Mick Jagger. So she's just really making her way around. She likes old dudes.
Yeah, is it? I mean, or she like old dudes. She's like old famous dudes.
Old famous dudes. Yeah, good point.
You know, I'm noticing the pattern here. How many people have slept with both Mick Jagger and Al Pacino?
Probably a lot.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
probably more older.
Pretty good crossover on that one.
You saying the groupie pool is small?
Sure, they run in some of the same circles.
I feel like Cannes Film Festival one of those events definitely had Mick Jagger and Robert De Niro at them different times, and the same person attended them both times and went home with them.
What historical figures do you think have shared the most common sexual partners? People that aren't related.
Philosophers. Like Socrates, all them motherfuckers, they was out there fucking the same little boys. Yeah.
I was going to say John F. Kennedy and Mickey Mantle. Probably, they were definitely Eskimo brothers.
I want to say JFK and RFK.
Charlie Chaplin and Albert Einstein, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. They was thick as thieves, them two. And Einstein was a little hornball. And so was Charlie Chaplin. They was fucking the same bitches easily. Frank Sinatra and whoever else was famous at the time.
Oh, yeah. The whole Rat Pack.
Yeah, Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra.
Shout out to Frank Sinatra. He was a real one, dog. Like, he would play at clubs, and there was black artists that they wouldn't allow to play with him. And he's like, I'm not coming unless they play too. He's like, I'm not coming. Frank Sinatra was a real one.
What year was the Phoenix Suns podcast? The 20
that was Bubble. That was Bubble.
The 2020 Suns.
They had a podcast?
No, this girl went on a podcast and talked about how she
has a name.
I don't know what it is, but she had sex with basically like every player on the Phoenix Suns at once.
The fuck? At one time?
I believe that's what it was.
She was the other one that got into the bubble.
All right, so Big T, you're confusing this argument because they all just shared one sexual partner.
It was a joke. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Wait, hold on. So this didn't happen?
No,
it did happen.
To her. The only claim is hers on the.
So we don't know if she's lying or not.
Right.
She's probably telling the truth.
Allegedly.
She's probably telling the truth.
I don't know. A lot.
What player would admit that happened?
Right, but if you're looking for attention on a podcast, you can't embellish.
No, it was the woman.
It's a wild claim to make.
It was the woman, not one of the players.
No, that's what I'm saying. But so the woman saying she slept with multiple people on the Phoenix Suns squad.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. What is? I would have to listen to it, right? But like, it sounds like it probably happened, and they don't.
I think it was on No Jumper.
Yeah, I'm sure it happened.
Yeah,
I think it happened. Yeah.
Okay, I've got maybe the correct answer. We're gonna go with Wilt Chamberlain and Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, that's absolutely happened. There's a lot of cross-pollination going on right there.
Especially if you believe Wilt Chamberlain's numbers.
I don't.
Which are not possible, but
did they play in the same era?
Yeah, I mean, Frank Sinatra was a little bit older, but Wilt Chamberlain, I think he was in LA throughout the 60s. That's probably when he put the most work in. Frank Sinatra was probably like in his upper 40s. I think 50s maybe.
No, Wilt Chamberlain and Hugh Hefner. I can see tons of overlap there.
When did Hugh Hefner go pro?
I think he's been pro since the 40s.
You could do Hugh Hefner.
No, not the 40s.
Any generation,
70s.
Any generation of superstar, and Hugh Hefner would probably be the case.
Yeah, you know what? I think Billy's right. I think it's Hugh Hefner and Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah. Those are the two. Got to the bottom of that one.
Yeah. Boom.
All right, you guys want to talk crop circles, or Billy, you want to talk UFOs?
Oh, yeah, there was just short thing. NASA did a press conference on UFOs, and basically I listened to a 17-minute Q&A, and basically all they said was, we don't know enough about the UFOs and need to gather more information about them to make any sort of assertion about them. And I was like, well, that was a waste of time.
No evidence still, huh?
Well, there's some. Did you guys watch the video that they showed Congress? Like Congress was shown a video of an object and briefed. So, I mean, that means that object is real.
Nobody ever says that.
Huh?
Nobody says that there aren't unidentified flying objects.
Right.
That doesn't mean they're aliens.
It doesn't mean they're not from here.
I think they might be from Earth.
And that was it's not that crazy stint.
But I think the most realistic thing would be that they're U.S. highly advanced drones that are like our new nuclear defense system.
I can sleep better at night now.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself.
Okay, you guys want to
video? Send the video to Congress.
Yeah, the Congress video.
Yeah, put it in the chat. In the meantime, while we're looking at this, before we get into UFOs and crop circles, this episode is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. It's created by fans for fans. Game Time is the ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. And they guarantee the lowest price. It's baseball season. We're going to a lot of games this summer. It's awesome. Nothing better than a daytime baseball game, especially if it's in the middle of the week. You're supposed to be at work. Your boss doesn't know. Take a sick day. Hit up Game Time. Go check out a ball game. We went to a bunch of games last year. Big T, are you going into any Mets games? Any Mets Braves games this summer?
Yeah, maybe. I went to a Braves game the other day though. Game Time.
How was it?
It was great.
Tough little stretch for your Braves. Losing 2 in a row to Oakland.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Game Time's great.
Game Time is great. Also, the Braves are definitely going to kick the shit out of the Athletics tonight. Just putting that on record.
I hope that happens. Yes.
It has to. You can't go through this with Oakland right now. But if you want to get to a game or a concert, summer concerts, big thing right now. You've got Taylor Swift. I know Mad Dog just went to see Taylor Swift the other night.
Yeah.
We've got lots of summer tours. I've got my eye on a couple things that I want to check out this summer. I'm going to be using Game Time, feeling out the Chicago music scene, using Game Time to get in. The best part about Game Time, if you're going to a game with a big group of friends, or if you're going with family members that might not know how to do ticket transfers and all that stuff, it's super easy with Game Time. It takes 2 taps in 10 seconds. And then when you buy your tickets, you can share them via text. So you can get into the game seamlessly. No holding up the line at the entrance. You just send the text. You don't have to log in. You don't have to do all this crazy stuff where you cycle through 5 different apps to send the tickets to somebody. Skip the hassle. Just enjoy the moment. Best way to go check out a sports game or a concert. We've got Drake and 21 Savage, Luke Bryan, Taylor Swift, Chance the Rapper, Mets, Yankees. I'm gonna go check out some Nationals games. I made a promise the other day to Corey Kispert. I even signed a contract, which I think is legally binding online. I'm gonna go to 4 Wizards games next year. I'm back in on the Wizards. We got a new general manager. I'm gonna start getting back into the Wizards. I've put them out of my brain for the last, I'd say 15 years. I haven't really exhausted much mental capital on the Wizards since Gilbert left, although Paul Pierce was pretty good for a couple seasons. I'm back in on the Wizards. I'm going to go to at least 4 Wizards games next year. I'm going to use Game Time for it. Going to check out some baseball, go to Wrigley Field, Guaranteed Rate Park out here in Chicago. Check it all out. Download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email and redeem code MACRO. Get $20 off your first purchase. How about that? $20 in your pocket thanks to Game Time. That's $20 you don't have to spend on a ticket when you download the Game Time app or go to the website. Put that email in, redeem code MACRO for $20 off your first purchase. Some terms apply. I would imagine one of those terms is if you buy a ticket, not to harp on the Athletics. I feel bad for A's fans. But if you want to go to an A's game, I'm pretty sure that tickets are like $5 to get in. You get $20 off that with Macro. They probably won't give you a $15 rebate, but I'm just saying you can get a great deal for an A's game, I'm sure, using promo code Macro on your first purchase. Some terms apply. All right, let's get back into it.
I just saw the video that Billy sent that was shown to Congress. I'm so sick and tired. My Ring camera is better quality than that bullshit. Come on, bruh. We have HD cameras everywhere. If these motherfuckers is flying around, show me the good stuff. Somebody take an HD camera up with a pilot. Why do you just always recording with fucking Nokias?
I got another video I can show you, but
show it to me.
Which isn't the one they showed to Congress, but PFT can fill you in on what exactly that type of footage is. Because
I would love to.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be allowed to, because
looks like this was taken using maybe an infrared sensing targeting pod.
It is taken by a sidekick camera.
Might have been taken at night, which is why there's no light that's bouncing off it, but you might be seeing some infrared images of it that they're using to to target a weapon onto it to get a radar lock on this image. So that's why the footage quality is low. It's also very possible that they're not giving us the good footage, that they don't want us to see that because they probably have a different camera on it that they've got better images of. But this is one that they're showing us. And Arian, you brought up the Ring camera.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out my whole Ring camera situation at my new house. And I'm having a really hard time figuring out exactly how to get that whole thing set up. But I signed up for the Ring app, which is the worst mistake of my life, because now every 20 minutes I get neighborhood notifications about any sort of crime or lost pet that happens within like a 5-mile radius.
You can turn that shit off.
But here's the problem. Now I'm kind of addicted to it. So
you want to know what's going on?
I'm like, oh my God, there was a shooting. And then I pull it up and it's like 5 miles away. And then I start thinking to myself, oh my God, this is crazy. And so I'm like addicted to the fear porn that Ring is now sending to me.
I turned all that shit off. Like it was so bad. Like there's notifications for like any movement. You know what I'm saying? And then I realized there's a really dope feature where you can like select sections. Like if somebody enters this section, if a human face enters this section, then it has facial recognition stuff on it. It's pretty dope. I like it.
I'm wondering if the Ring camera is still hooked up to the person who lived in this house. I wonder if it's still hooked up to their phone. So every time I'm outside on the front porch, they get a notification that I'm there. I hope so.
So yeah, this new other video was taken by a hand glider who had a pretty good HD camera. Not confirmed, but like that could be a balloon from what we're looking at. But
yeah, or a drone.
Yeah. But
yep, still very unconvincing.
I mean, the fact that they're showing Congress it is pretty convincing that there's something there.
Not to me.
They show Congress a whole bunch of shit that is like not compelling at all.
Do you think that they just gaslight Congress?
Yeah, for sure. I think about the people that are serving in Congress right now. They're the most easily trickable people in the world. I'm sure that when the military, it comes time to brief Congress, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to give them absolute dog shit and they're going to love it because they don't know any better.
The intelligence Green is in Congress. This is not some high bar to enter.
George Santos is in Congress right now.
Exactly, bro.
All right. Before we get into UFOs, I just real quick, I saved this to keep it away from the top of the show because it seems like we always talk about our rounds of golf at the top of the show. I just want to update you on what happened yesterday. I went out to the golf course here, played a quick 9 holes, got a par, no big deal. But in devastating news, Billy, you'll appreciate this. I got poison ivy. I got poison ivy pretty badly from it.
Put W4 on it.
W4? That sounds like a
tax
chemical.
Do you mean WD-40?
I was gonna say, you don't mean WD-40.
What? You mean W4?
Call it W4. Why? It's like a grease cleaner, but it's supposed to get all the oil off your legs because it's like an industrial.
That's
grease
WD-40.
That's WD-40.
Yeah.
He's talking about WD-40.
Yeah, because the oils.
Did you put like in doors to make?
Yeah,
it
but the oil, it like strips the oil off your skin so it doesn't spread because that's what you want to get off.
W4.
Okay.
Jesus.
I'll have to give that a shot. Yeah, I'm actually seeing online a lot of people said use WD-40 to help get poison ivy off. I don't know if I'm ready to try that though. My New Year's resolution is to not take any medical advice from Billy Football.
Oh, because every time I tell you something, it works. You don't. You almost had to get surgery, but we prevented that.
Yep.
What else?
Every time. Every time. But let's talk about some crop circles. Let's get into that. Maybe the most historical crop circle, or at least maybe the oldest one. You could call the Nazca lines kind of crop circles, right?
I was going to talk about. So basically the crop circles that we all know, and the ideas like the circular geometric features, those were all fake. there's a bunch of people who came forward saying that they did them, especially around Stonehenge, to sort of like make people think UFOs were coming. Some in Australia were caused by those dust bunnies. It's like the mini tornadoes, the wind gusts.
Dust devils, yeah.
The dust devils. And then there's some from 20th century that are unexplained, but could be explained by like a meteorite. But basically you can find two guys, Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley, who basically were the first ones to just push down crops with a piece of wood and string and like create these very intricate designs. But the Nazca lines, I actually think there's merit to.
Okay, Billy, I want to talk about the Australian ones because there's some pretty prevalent crop circles that they went viral. I want to say maybe 10 years ago in Tasmania, and they're crazy crop circles, very circular. And everybody was convinced that these things were put there by UFOs marking some sort of territory. They looked into it, and what actually happened was they're wallabies, right? The little mini kangaroos.
Oh, nice.
That live in Tasmania, and they eat a shitload of the poppies because Tasmania grows a huge portion of the world's opium. They grow, There's just massive, massive fields of poppies. The wallabies would eat the poppies, get high as shit, and then they just start hopping around in perfect circles and just keep turning left. And they would make these perfect circles in the fields. And everyone was convinced that it was the end of times, that aliens were coming down to Earth to nuke us. And it's just these stoned ass wallabies jumping around in circles. It's awesome.
That's awesome. I wonder if that happens in Afghanistan.
With the was it the giant of Kandahar or whatever?
Yeah, we need to look into that. And was any Zero Blog 30 members in Afghanistan, or all were Iraq?
Yeah, Kate was there.
Kate was in Afghanistan. I need to ask her if like she heard the legends of the Kandahar giant, because apparently a bunch of U.S. Special Forces members went out in a place in Kandahar and found a gigantic human being that killed several U.S. special operatives, and then they killed it, and they secretly had to take the body out.
Sounds legit. But yeah, you want to talk about the Nazca lines?
Yeah. Nazca lines were just depictions that no one really knew were depictions of various beings till they flew over them and were like, oh my God, those are drawings in the whole earth. But
yeah, there's pictures of animals, like really good pictures of animals too. Some people thought that some of the straight lines might have been landing strips for old school UFOs if they were here on Earth. But there's some that look like birds. There's one that looks like a cat, exactly like a cat in Peru.
Yeah, so it's in southern Peru in the Nazca Desert, and some early peoples there, I think they haven't... So they were discovered by the first European to write about them was Pedro Cieza de Leon in his book of 1553. And he described them just as trail markers because he thought they were trails. And then Louise Monzon in 1569 talked about them. And then they only really discovered that the Nazca lines were actually depictions in around 1940 when he flew over the lines and realized that one was in the shape of a bird. Paul Kosuk, an American historian. So, I mean, but how can they construct these and know that they were making depictions if they couldn't see from above? I mean, I guess there's mathematical ways you could like make a grid system to create these lines, but they were huge structures.
It would take some serious geometry. It's like how they designed the pyramids to be perfectly aligned with stars. You have to be hella good at science to figure out how to do that without a calculator.
Like, some people think that aliens were involved, ancient cosmonauts, but we can't. Yeah. I think it's more the reality of the situation is that people back then just had so much more time on their hands because they didn't have the internet or any sources of entertainment. So they're like, let's turn this whole field into a grid and just like sketch it out on a small piece of paper and then just put the rocks where we think they're supposed to go.
Well, think about it from this perspective. If you're an ancient culture in Peru and you spend months, if not years, designing these perfect outlines of shapes of animals, whatever the case may be, and you know that you're going to put in all this work and never be able to see it from above, that's kind of a beautiful thing. You're just making art just to make art. Now, unless there was a way that they could get up there and look down on it, but a lot of these places are in the middle of fields, which they would never be able to get up high enough to actually see the result of their work and what it looks like. So they were just doing it just to do it.
Or they were trying to like show the heavens art in order to get, you know, like rains I mean, it was a desert and rain was probably rare. And they probably thought that whoever was sending the water from above might see these and reward them with water.
That's true. I feel like that's the more plausible explanation.
I've always thought, though, that we're not being told about some sort of ancient flight technology, because I still think that there's no chance that we're the first civilization to ever think of the fact that, oh, look at this bird and how it flies. Maybe we can design something that looks like that bird and be able to fly ourselves. I think that there's probably an ancient civilization that had some sort of flight tech, if it was a plane or if it was a hot air balloon, any of these things. I think that somebody somewhere had the idea.
Sure, but were they able to execute?
Maybe not. But Billy, I'm gonna get Kate into the studio real quick.
Oh,
to talk about the Kandahar giant, if that's okay with you.
I just hope, I don't know, I hope it's not too far out there.
All right. She's going to come down in a second. But yeah, the NASA lines are awesome. You should look up pictures of them. You can find them millions of places online. But they're very, very cool. Now, the cat that's on the side of the mountain, they made that one so that people could look at it. And it looks like it's a cat wearing sunglasses, which is pretty awesome. Looks like something that you'd find in an Etsy store.
Yeah.
If I was an alien civilization, there's no way I would draw weak ass stick figures and spiders on the floor. If I was going to write shit on the floor, you know what I'm saying? I would do something that was like, so like one of the most brilliant things I think mankind has ever done was, what is that Voyager thing? I think it was, that golden,
that they sent with like the music and stuff.
Carl Sagan.
The Voyager. The probes.
Yep. So one of the things that they did on it was they put like they spoke like mathematics, right? So I think it's a carbon atom signature. Let me see. I don't want to misrepresent what they actually did. Let's see, Voyager signatures. Design. But anyway, while I'm looking this up, they put a bunch of stuff on there that denoted we understood science, that denoted that there's certain like universal truths that go on, right? Like different atoms, splitting atoms, spectral lines, our space in our solar system, our point where we're at, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or anything, prime numbers, stuff like that, stuff that reoccurs throughout the universe, not just like some random spider. You know what I'm saying? That's why I remain skeptical about shit like this. It's never anything like trying to really communicate with us. It's always like folklore stuff that happened to be of that time.
You're talking about the movie Contact, where they sent out a message to Earth that was math, that was recycling.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Is Kate in the studio?
Yeah.
I think so.
Hello.
Hey, Kate, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Billy had some questions about the Kandahar giant. I'll tell you how we got there. We were talking about the crop circles down in Tasmania, and how they were formed by a bunch of wallabies that ate opium, that ate poppy seeds and jumped around in circles to make like these perfect designs in the field. And then Billy was like, I wonder if the Kandahar giant ever got into the poppy fields in Afghanistan. And then he was wondering if you had ever heard about the Kandahar giant and whether or not there was any truth to this urban legend that Billy wants so very deeply to believe is true.
Yeah, so we actually there's this guy, Tales from the Grid Square, who does all military, like, spooky stories and stuff like that. And he had a bunch of guys on who swear they had seen the giant of Kandahar. And it's middle of Afghanistan, this creature, it's like the Yeti kind of out there.
Whoa. Flaming
red hair, 13 feet tall, 6 fiery fingers and toes. And these troops, especially special forces, would be out patrolling in the middle of the night, and they would stumble upon, like, sometimes he would attack with a spear, and other times they're like, we saw him, he was just cooking his dinner, and like in the clearing, you know, stuff like that. But apparently he took out a whole squad and all this stuff. And I think like Snopes even went in and had to confirm with the DOD that, like, no, there's no official record. But I'll say this too. What kept everybody going, because you were awake sometimes for a really long time, was these little cans called Rip It. Have you guys ever heard of Rip It?
No.
It's like straight up acid full of caffeine that we would just chug 24/7. So say you've been up for 3 days and now you're on watch and it's the middle of the night and you're by yourself and you've had 15 Rip Its. You might see the giant of Kandahar walking by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like being at a sleepover for too long with your friends.
Right, exactly. You've been up a little too long and maybe you're seeing a couple giants roaming around. But yeah, it's basically like Afghanistan's Yeti.
Yeah. So from what I read, one dude, they heard about this thing. They went to approach it and it was in a cave. Mm-hmm. And one dude, like the point man, was walking to the cave and just got hit with a giant spear.
Yeah.
And then this giant ran out and then everybody else just like shot him up, like. And then a helicopter went and took it away, and nobody knows if it really happened or not. And they think it's like a biblical creature. They think it's like whatever David fought. Like
I think it's safe to say that is correct. That is what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, we had all heard. That was like a common thing that everybody had heard of, though.
Hell
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Snopes. We just autocorrected Snopes.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Boom, dude. That must be insane. I know it's probably a product of what's it like a desert oasis. What's the word I'm thinking for? A mirage?
Oh, a mirage, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that Kandahar was famous for was the Kandahar Poo Pond. There was a giant military base there called like Kandahar Air Base or something. Mm-hmm. I got to go there just one time for a couple days, but all the poop of the region were in these giant open ponds, and the troops built lifeguard stands, and they all built dummies like fishing in the poo pond, and it was supposed to be this like vacation destination, but it was like 3 acres of just poop sludge, and the Kandahar Poo Pond and the giant of Kandahar were the big
the
Kandahar things.
I can't imagine that poop pond baking in the sun might make some fumes that might make people a little.
Yeah,
that could be a possibility.
Could be a possibility. But look up photos, Google photos of the Kandahar Poo Pond and see how the troops jazzed it up with their like little scarecrows and stuff like that. But they made the best of the poo pond and the best of the giant. I don't know if he's still there.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
This poop pond does not look like a good swimming
not
hole.
A good time.
Oh, that's funny. They put they put together a little dummy lifeguard reenactment. Area 50 poo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Should call it Area Shitty 1.
They should have. That would have been. You would have crushed it as a troop, I think. You would have really thrived just on puns alone.
If there's anything I know that the military loves, it's one-liners.
Honestly, in the smoke pit, you'd be just an absolute delight. Be a hit.
All right. Well, thank you, Kate. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Kandahar giant, real.
Yes, confirmed real. Thanks, guys.
From Kate Barstool.
Thanks, Kate.
All right, Billy, you must feel validated by that.
I'm just fascinated. We need to do an episode on like cryptozoology and war zones, because there are tons of Vietnam vets that say that they like saw, Civil War generals, like all sorts of stuff in the forest. And I know high stress situations probably cause a little bit of that, but some of the stories are just like insane.
They're also smoking a lot of reefer over there.
Yeah. People forget that's how we lost the war.
Is that?
No, I'm joking.
There's a bunch of other cool ones out there I want to talk about. Maybe some that aren't really traditional crop circles, but there's a pentagram in the middle of Kazakhstan.
Oh.
Billy, are you familiar with this one?
Is it near the giant burning hole?
I don't know if it's near the giant burning hole or not. Well, yeah, dude, Kazakhstan is the most metal country.
Yeah.
But there's a pentagram. It's in the corner of Kazakhstan. It's about 12,000 feet in diameter. So that's like 4 football fields or so. Sounds good math. You guys hear that? Wow.
Hang on. What'd you just say?
It's 1,200 feet in diameter.
Got it.
Yep, you're right. That was a mistake. 1,200 feet in diameter. Still pretty big. And it's carved into the Earth's surface. But what it apparently is an outline of a park. So they decided to make a park that had walking trails that was the shape of a star. And then they put a circle around the park just as the entrance to the park. So they unintentionally created a pentagram into the earth in the middle of Kazakhstan, which is very funny.
That's crazy. The Darvasa gas crater is actually in Turkmenistan.
Okay.
And that's just a giant burning pit, which some think is the door to hell.
Yeah, the gateway to hell. The thing's awesome. There's a couple other good ones. There's one in New Mexico. Have you seen those? The Mesa. It's by Mesa Huerfanita. 2 big diamonds surrounded by a pair of overlapping circles. And some people think that it's a bunker belonging to the Church of Scientology that they built there. But the fact that it's in New Mexico, everybody will just be like, "Oh shit, that's Area 51 or not Area 51, Roswell stuff."
Yeah. Well, Denver Airport, it's in the shape of a swastika.
No, that's not exactly true.
That's part of the thing.
Yeah, but some people say that. I don't see it. That's if you're looking for a swastika, you'll find a swastika.
Well, let's go to the maps.
There's also another one in northern Kazakhstan that looks like a swastika. But when they made it, it could have been made by people like 2,000 years ago when the swastika was a Hindu sign of peace.
Yeah.
Still, at some point, it's like a tattoo. If you get a swastika tattoo and you're in prison, when you get out, you should cover that shit up.
I don't think
they should cover up the swastika in the middle of Kazakhstan. That's my official position.
The Denver airport, if you look at it, it's there. Oh,
I don't see it.
Who was I talking to about? Oh, never mind. Forgot.
All right. What other crop circles you want to talk about, Billy?
I think we kind of hit the nail on the head. There's some people who say that there's certain. So I wanted to talk about when this is a funny story. So Mr. Delgado, who has written many books about crop circles, he said, Delgado said that not only was 100% made by aliens, but he could sense that the aliens had just left regarding a crop circle that he had just come upon. And Delgado was like, there's no way this could be a hoax. But then those 2 dudes I talk about, Doug and Dave, who had been doing it since 1976, came up to him like as like a reveal. They like tried to trick the crop circle expert by the 2 crop circle makers would show up. And Mr. Delgado looked at Doug and Dave and said, "Oh my God, that's why you 2 were always there." And then he admitted that he'd been pranked, that they've been like the 2 hoaxers came out and were like, "Yeah, we made this and we've been making all of them." And this Delgado guy was like, "What? Like, I've written so many books about how this is aliens and you guys have just been making them the whole time." So, yeah. So that was a fun.
There's this one guy down in shout out to the hoaxers that just like do this in their free time. Mm-hmm. That's an excellent use of being constructive and just trying to create something beautiful on this earth and then having a bunch of people fall for it. There's this guy named Dr. Horace Drew, which is very confusing because I guess his name's Dr. Drew. and he claims that he saw a UFO in Jacksonville, Florida. That might have been kind of similar to Kate's situation, except with meth, since it's Jacksonville. But he does have a PhD in chemistry from Caltech, which gives him a little bit of credibility. Mm-hmm. He's found some very intricate crop circles in his fields, and he's studied a bunch of this stuff. He makes a good point. He says that if you think about crop circles, the way that we communicate with animals underneath the ocean, it would line up in the similar line of thinking. So humans have tried to communicate with dolphins in various ways by putting things underwater that they'll find, get interested in, and maybe like learn something about us, or just as a way to see how the dolphins react to something that we introduce to their native habitat, to learn more about their intelligence. If you think about how we look at dolphins and whales as being, very intelligent, but also well beneath the human brain, and we're trying to communicate with them and just see how they react, the same could be said for an alien trying to communicate with Earth. If they're like, well, these people are smart, maybe if we put things in their fields that they will recognize, then they'll be able to start communicating with us, or we can watch how they react to it, and we can learn more about them and how smart they really are. Like, if you think about it in that paradigm, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, the Nazca lines, there's a cat trying to tell us that the cats are aliens.
Yeah.
Many people think.
Cats are aliens?
Yeah, that's like in Cats versus Dogs, the movie. Cats are aliens.
What about the movie Signs? You guys see Signs?
Is that the one with Mark Wahlberg?
No, he could be in it. This is the one with Joaquin Phoenix and Mel Gibson.
Oh.
It was a thriller, sci-fi thriller, where there's a bunch of crop circles that appear on Earth, and then aliens start walking around, some in South America, some in the middle of nowhere in America. And they put these signs out as targets for their landing craft. And then they show up and they try to take over Earth, but we beat them because they're deathly allergic to water, which seems like an all-time fuck up for the aliens to try to invade a planet that is 70% water.
Oh no! I got Signs mixed up with there's another M. Night Shyamalan one with Mark Wahlberg where plants decide to kill people.
I did.
Yeah, have not seen that one.
Oh, that's with it's like invisible.
Yeah,
and like it's like the wind was so bad though. It was trash.
Where do y'all stand on M. Night generally?
I think he had like 3 bangers.
Give them to me.
I See Dead
Signs?
People. What's the name of that movie?
Signs was not a banger.
Signs was good. I love Signs.
Okay, do me a favor. Run it back and see. Well, I don't know if you have enough time, but if you have a chance, run it back and see if you still feel like it's a banger.
Sixth Sense. That's the movie I was thinking of.
Sixth Sense was a banger. Now that's
Sixth Sense was a banger.
The Village, banger.
Village was underrated.
Good movie.
What's The Village about?
It's about a village.
It's hard to tell you without giving it away, but you should watch it. It's a good movie.
It's about like an Amish Mennonite village in Pennsylvania.
Well, no.
They're very, very traditional, and then weird stuff happens.
Well, spoiler. Never mind.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's like
it's cool. It's.
Do you want me to spoil it?
No, I don't. I said don't.
Okay, never mind.
Split, good movie.
Is that with the bipolar cat? Not bipolar.
Yeah, the guy who has like all the different people within his brain. Yeah.
That was a fire movie.
Very good movie.
The Devil, I think, was one. Was M. Night? Yeah. The Devil was really scary. I just remember that commercial scaring the hell out of me.
Do you think M. Night Shyamalan would be as renowned of a director if his name wasn't M. Night? Because M. Night is a sick name for like a horror mystery guy.
You make Sixth Sense. You know.
What percentage of people do you think that watched Sixth Sense knew that the guy was dead the entire time?
The first time?
Spoiler alert. Jeez.
Very few.
The first time.
5
people total?
percent.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, they do show it. The John Mulaney joke he tells about the movie, that's the first thing they show you.
Yeah, he gets, what does he get, stabbed or shot?
Shot, I think.
If you saw that movie, I want to hear from you. If you saw it and the first time you watched it, you were like, oh, this guy's dead. I think you're a genius. I would say it's less than 5%. I would say it's probably 1%. One on every 100 people that saw it.
I want to say I recall my dad saying he knew the first time he watched it. Because I remember when I watched that movie as a kid, my parents were like, you're not going to believe this. And I think my dad claimed to know. His also claim to fame is every year on the Survivor finale, he can tell the exact point when Jeff Probst is walking from the recorded to the live, and he claims he can pick it out every single year exactly where it switches.
That's a great skill to have.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you called that he was dead while you watched it the first time, you should put that in your Twitter bio.
I could
knew Bruce Willis was dead the entire movie.
Dad detecting shenanigans from the jump.
Yeah, that's his favorite thing to do, is the Survivor thing.
That's funny.
But we were talking about crop circles as it pertains to signs, Arian.
Yeah.
About how that was like a marker of alien, like where they should land. I was actually, I was thinking of the fact that if aliens wanted to test our intelligence, that would be one way to do it, to put a bunch of stuff on the planet that looked like it should not be there and then see how we react to it. Kind of like how we deal with dolphins and whales under the ocean.
Give them mirrors.
Yeah.
I always look at it like, if I'm an alien species, right? I'm traveling for one of two reasons. I'm traveling because the resources on my planet have dried up and I have similar resources there. And the only other reason is exploration. Check and see what the fuck is out here on this big grand universe. And
they could be trolling too.
The aliens are trolling.
Well, think about it this way. Who is doing the most right now to allegedly push the limits of colonization on other planets, on space exploration? I mean, NASA's still doing some stuff, but Elon is spending a shitload of money on that. Elon would definitely go to a different planet and spend $10 billion getting there and then put a poop emoji on it because he thinks it'd be funny.
Oh my God. There's some alien Elon Musk. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Corny ass dad jokes on other planets.
Yeah.
Or what if the aliens are just like we're zoo creatures and they're just like throwing peanuts at us at the zoo, like we're just like wild animals to them, and they're visiting,
messing with us.
They're visiting to go on safari, and they're just like, wow, look at these humans.
Yeah. Then there's other aliens that are like pissed off at those aliens. Like, you're being very immature right now.
Yeah. Like humans are protected species. They can't mess with them.
No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think another civilization can look at us and be like, they're not an intelligent species. Well, I use the word loosely. We do stupid shit, but we're obviously brilliant, right?
But maybe not by their standards.
That's what I'm saying. But comparatively to everything on this planet, we're the most intelligent species. So relatively, we're intelligent to our environment. So if we have a jungle, right, and we see some chimps or some apes in general interacting, we recognize that they're the most intelligent species in that stratosphere. In that environment, as well as like dolphins or orcas. Like, we recognize like the intelligence level of them, right? Octopuses. Like, we recognize that shit. And we interact with them. Like, I feel like they would look at us the same way and say, they're not on our level, obviously, but we recognize that they have some intelligence to them and we should interact. Or because like Star Trek is that thing too, that Star Trek notion of the prime directive. Like, you don't mess with a civilization. Like, you don't interact with a civilization and let them know that you're intergalactic and that you can move throughout the stars. You don't do that unless they can reach warp speed.
There's a phrase I like to use. It's a human is smart. Humans are dumb.
Why would you? Don't take my shit.
Hey, have
you stole it from Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah, but I ain't never heard anybody dig it up.
You seen Ready Player One yet?
I did. No, not yet. Maybe one of these days. But Arian, to your point, we are very smart. We are very, very smart. In fact, humans are so smart that we've invented a way to kill all other humans.
Fire.
But what if aliens think that that's why we're still dumb?
No, that's exactly the point. It's like they can see our level of intelligence, but they're also like at a macro scale. These things are the biggest dumbasses on earth. Because I mean, say what you want about Canada geese, they're annoying as shit. They're mean. They'll bite you. They're aggressive. But Canada geese have never once come close to figuring out a way to wipe out the entire planet.
They've shat on the entire planet, basically.
They have. Which is better.
You know what?
So have humans, though.
But what if they're
shout out to Poop Pool?
What if there's another civilization on Earth that has contact with aliens and we don't?
Yo, you stuck on this. I think you really think this, dog.
Who the hell's driving these UFOs?
Billy, do you want aliens to invade during your lifetime?
No, not really.
I do. I would like an event to happen in my lifetime that totally shakes the course of humanity and wakes us the fuck up. Because this is the stupidest thing possibly that we could be doing.
COVID.
It's dumb. That didn't do it. It made it worse.
It's pretty close.
I'm talking about our objective. Think about it. When you wake up every morning, dog, you go to work to go get money. Like that's your objective as a human, is to make money. If you do not make money, you die. Period. This is a stupid way to form society. It is fucking dumb. I want something to happen to wake us up to realize this is not what life is supposed to be. This is a fucking rat race, and it's depressing. And I'm sorry I just brought you into my pessimistic thought process, but it's just fucking stupid. It's dumb. This is so stupid.
What would an example? Let's say not. What's the most of Earth event that could happen to snap us out of that? If aliens don't come, is there anything else that could cause that?
An exponential increase in artificial intelligence that can readily handle all of humans' basic needs. If we can get like 3D printing for houses and agriculture and shit like that, to where humans don't have to worry about where food and shelter come from, that would totally disrupt our way of life.
So
now, what if artificial intelligence gets so intelligent that they realize how dumb we truly are, and then artificial intelligence just basically says, "Peace, I'm out. I don't want to be part of this because you're going to kill me and all of yourselves one day too."
Well, I would just say, make a version of yourself and you go do your thing in outer space. Tap in every now and then, say hi, but keep that shit here so that, because we can't leave. We're stuck here with the rest of these motherfuckers that want to blow everything up.
What if AI just like gets to a point, keeps improving itself, and then interlocks into everything, disarms all of our nukes, like
fire,
that'd
be dope as shit.
Just starts like taking over and just like it's AI government, AI communism, like communism. No one's ever gotten to the point of communism because that's like a common theory that communism, no one's ever gotten there. What if AI takes us to this heavenly communism and where everything gets distributed equally, and because they're just the greatest unbiased power that only wants to, that's only true meaning is to take care of us. Do you think that's where this all might lead?
It would be fire, bro. What? It'd be amazing. If you didn't have to worry about work, if you could wake up every single day and didn't have to do anything, what would Billy Football do? What would you do?
So Marcus Aurelius, remember in one of his readings, I'm gonna butcher this, but he talks about getting out of bed, and when he can't get out of bed, and he talks about You know, everything has a purpose. The ants march to get food for their colony. Like work, you know, I should get up and do what humans are supposed to do, which is, you know, he was ruling an empire, but he still struggled with like the depressive type stuff where he didn't want to get out of bed. Mm-hmm. So I think I'd still do something that would somehow contribute to the world in some way, because I think that's at the end of the day what we're supposed to do.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's just, I think a lot of the times people don't. I think about this shit a lot because I don't have anything to do, and so I find myself pondering, you know, these philosophical questions. But like, if the majority of people didn't have to work, what would they do?
Podcast.
They already do that.
It's true.
But like, for example, you're stimulating the economy by spending on stuff that you want to do, be it a round of golf. Like, you're still contributing by spending. So technically your job is to help the larger.
Yeah, but that doesn't fulfill me buying golf clubs so that Callaway's CEO can have money. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if your basic needs are taken care of and everybody's basic needs are taken care of, the age-old argument is incentive. What incentivizes people to do anything? Would there be any ambition? I would argue yes. Super capitalists would argue no. And so I always pose the question to them: if you didn't have anything to do, what would you do? I believe there are people that wouldn't do anything, and I feel like that's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So there was an experiment done with mice.
Okay.
And they basically invented mice utopia.
Right.
Calhoun, have we ever spoken about this? John Calhoun's experiments to study the effects of population density on behavior. Basically, I think what happened was, so there was unlimited food, multiple levels in secluded little rodent condos. They wanted to study the effects of population density and start making rat utopias and mouse paradises. It first quickly spiraled into out of control overcrowding, eventual population collapse, and seemingly sinister behavior patterns. The mice were not nice. At peak population, most mice spent every living second in the company of hundreds of other mice. They gathered in the main square, waiting to be fed and occasionally attacking each other. Few females carried pregnancies to term, and the ones that did seemed to simply forget about their babies. They move half their litter away from danger and forget the rest. Sometimes they drop and abandon a baby while they are carrying it. A few secluded spaces housed a population Calhoun called the beautiful ones, generally guarded by one male. The females and few males inside the space didn't breed or fight or do anything but eat, groom, and sleep. When the population started declining, the beautiful ones were spared from violence and death, but it completely lost touch with social behaviors, including having sex or caring for their young.
How did they parse out the beautiful mice from the non-beautiful mice?
I don't know. So they hoarded. So, yeah.
I would like to see a peer review on this study, man.
Yeah.
The beautiful mice. It sounds like somebody's interpretation of what would happen with humans. It sounds like an actual study.
Did the beautiful mice, were they self-selected?
Yes.
I don't think that the humans picked them, right?
No,
there became just like one tribe of mice that established dominance.
Yeah. So these ones, they basically, the males, the strongest males picked the beautiful females and then hoarded them up on the high level rat condos while the rest were at the bottom, and they just fought to keep the other ones out and then let those ones just like riot amongst each other, even though they're still being fed.
Send me this study, bro.
I got a question. Did the beautiful mice, the winning tribe, did they hoard the food?
They were fed the same way the other ones were fed. They only ate as much as they needed. But this scenario had unlimited housing, unlimited food. So I feel like if they're in the scenario where food was finite, they probably hoard the food.
If this happened to humans, we would all just get super fat.
Now, interpretations of Calhoun's work has changed. Inglis Arkell explains that the habitats he created, so wait, another guy did the same experiments. The habitats he created weren't really overcrowded, but that isolation enabled aggressive mice to stake out territory and isolate the beautiful ones. She writes, instead of a population problem, one could argue that Universe 25 had a fair distribution problem. So Universe 25 is what she called her rat heaven. Huh.
So at the core of this is saying the nature of that particular animal is to, I guess, divide and congregate and develop a hierarchy of class.
Resource hoard, yeah. So this is what historian Edmund Ramsden said about Calhoun's work. Ultimately, rats may suffer from crowding. Human beings can cope. Calhoun's research was seen not only as questionable, but also dangerous. Jonathan Friedman turned to studying actual people. They were just high school and university students, but definitely human. His work suggested a different interpretation. Moral decay could arise not from density, but from excessive social interaction. Not all of Calhoun's rats had gone berserk. Those who managed to control space led relatively normal lives.
See, and that's the thing that where I feel like absolutely differentiates us between rats or just anything else in the animal kingdom. Aside from, I think there's a few like the dolphins and orcas and stuff like that. Is the cultural aspect of a society that can be passed down. So right now, our culture is literally to join the workforce. Like the bells, I could be wrong about this, but I think the bell system for like schools was invented from factory lines. That came from factory lines, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. But if you go to school to get an education, it's to get a degree in order to have an entry point to a high-paying job, right? Like everything that we do is geared towards that. That's a cultural thing. Like it's our culture. It's what's developed over time, right? And so I argue that if you develop a culture in which the premise or the prime directive of us and our existence is to nurture our culture, care for one another, and it sounds super like hippie, and to like explore our world and our universe, then the cohabitants of our culture will exude different behaviors. Like our behaviors right now are very indicative of the culture that we've crafted. Crime follows poverty. Like there are, very few. There happens, but it's very rare that people just kill just to kill. Like it happens, but it's like a neurological thing. But like most killings and most murders are due to like territory things for resources and a culture that's developed around that. My take on it, anyway.
Orcas pass down cultures.
Yep. Just said that.
Oh, we have a team named the Orcas now.
Well, who?
Seattle's Major League Cricket team is named the Orcas.
Oh, nice.
Is that new?
Yeah, I think it's a brand new team.
Did they take our fucking? Did they take our name?
No, it already came out, but yeah, okay. They're the Orcas. I might have to get an Orcas cricket uniform.
Is it about what's the colors?
I think black and white, maybe some green for Seattle.
Okay.
Didn't we say the Pacific Northwest would be a great place for?
Yeah, we literally.
Yep. And we also we conveniently left out the fact that the Vancouver Canucks have an orca that's a main part of their logo, but they're not the Orcas.
What is a Canuck?
Canuck's a Canadian. Right?
Yeah. You guys want to do some voicemails?
Oh. Last thing about the rats. So it turns out some of the rats would resort to cannibalism because they were bored of the food they were being given. And a lot of...
Switch up that diet. You'll start eating motherfuckers.
And they displayed sexual deviation. Only amongst the males.
Homosexuality?
Yeah.
Just got to spice up the sex life every now and then.
They're just like, we have so many chicks. It's like ancient Greece.
I'm tired of these beautiful women. Come here, bro.
Once you've seen enough holes, they all start to look the same.
Voicemails?
Yep.
Let's do voicemails. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Getting to know yourself is a lifelong process. This is because we're always changing, always growing. Therapy is about deepening your self-awareness and self-understanding to help you discover your best self. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery, and it meets you where you are. Sometimes we become so busy, self-care can be brushed to the side, but therapy can be an effective way to give yourself time that you deserve to focus on you. If you're ready to put yourself first, if you're thinking of starting therapy, you should give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/dose today. Get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/dose. Voicemails.
Okay.
My name's Tanner. I'm from State College, Pennsylvania, and I was calling. I had a question for you guys. Have you guys ever given consideration to doing a international macrodosing pod episode, or maybe you guys all go to Amsterdam and Europe, or even something like Australia, have Billy tell you what's the most dangerous spider and snakes? I just think if you guys did an international blog and record a couple episodes, that might be sick. And if you did do that, where would you guys want to go?
Good question. I've got one. I would love to see Billy go to the Sentinelese Islands. I think it'd be fantastic content. Do a vlog.
They can't compete in our era.
Do a vlog.
Yeah.
You think you could whoop one of them Islanders, bro?
No, they definitely are. I don't know.
Crazy. I'm not sure. I don't want to.
But you
you can take them spears out of their hands. I guess no shot.
Yeah, but they're probably so dirty with a spear.
I thought you were gonna stop at dirty. I was like, damn.
No. I meant the dirties and good. Like so, like.
You know what I'm saying one-on-one. They got a weapon.
Yeah, I mean,
one-on-one. They don't got.
Like, imagine you just walk off the boat and they just 100 yards away, just nail you with a spear, like Achilles and Troy, and you're just like, I didn't even have a chance.
Yeah, no.
But one-on-one, they don't know kung fu. They don't know martial arts.
I'm sure they have a martial art.
I think they just, I think they're still on brute strength and aim with a spear. I bet they're sick at throwing spears and archery. Do they have archery?
I bet you they have some form of that.
Yeah, they have archery. They've shot a bunch of arrows at people.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I bet they're dirty at that. But
and they've shot at planes, right?
Yeah, I feel like because they just start training from a young age with bows and arrows and spears, they might just skip the whole hand-to-hand combat thing. But they also might have freakish strength or the super fast twitch muscles. Then you just...
Big T, where would you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe this has been discussed, but if somebody else is paying for it, I'd like to maybe do a little tour, maybe Rome, Venice, maybe
Prague.
That's fine. Not France though. I'm not down with France. Yeah, just a little tour around Western Europe.
It's funny because my answer for Big T was going to be France.
Not France. No France.
I would love Big T. It would be such good content to just drop you.
No France. France is the people are the worst. The country is
You've never been to France,
and Lord willing, never will.
The French countryside, I could get down with.
No France.
This is why you should go, though, Big T. This is exactly why you should go.
What is it? Hold on. So you would never go to Paris?
No, dirty, horrible city, awful crime. No, and it's filled with French people. Absolutely not.
I didn't know you felt this strongly about the French.
Hate the French.
The French people might be a minority in Paris nowadays.
Oh God.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm not planning on it.
Immigration blogs.
Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I will never end up in France.
Big T, I would love to see you on the streets of Paris, going to art museums, drinking wine.
I'm sure that's where we're putting the next Barstool office after Chicago. We're headed to the streets of Paris right after a quick stop in San Francisco.
You would love the south of France though. Just beaches. Some of those beautiful beaches in the world down there.
That's not if they're in France. They're not. I'm going to London next month, so that's my first time going to Europe. So I'll have a Europe review in a few weeks.
Europe review after going to London. I like that.
Although I guess they're not really Europe anymore.
They're not in the EU, but they're still.
Big T, is any of your hatred towards the French, is that rooted in the fact that they didn't have our backs in the Iraq War?
No, I don't expect the French to have any. Do we need or want them in any war?
Maybe the American Revolution, Big T, which spawned.
Yes, when they had an actual military. Now it's just. I mean, what is their military? Macron getting up in front of a fucking thing and saying, no. We don't need the French.
Do you think, didn't we figure out that was like the freedom fries, the French being cowards thing was all like, was that a thing post World War II, or was that totally just that the French didn't join us in Iraq, so they started pushing that narrative?
That was 100% Iraq. Because they didn't have our backs in the invasion of Iraq. So we started calling them freedom fries. Like the United States Senate, I think, stopped selling, they stopped calling them French fries and they started calling them freedom fries there. There was a bunch of stuff that was anti-French. PFT, turns out they were right about that one.
PFT, but did that joke exist? Because I grew up with that joke, but did that exist before then?
No. The freedom fries started, I want to say 2002.
Not just freedom fries. I mean, like the French being cowards and losing.
Oh, yeah. No, that's been around for a while. Yeah.
So, yes, French people being the worst has a long history.
Well, a very one guy who I met at a dock used to say that the French fight with their feet and fuck with their face. And that's why you shouldn't like the French.
Got it.
Okay.
What the fuck does that even fight with their feet?
Yeah, they like kick.
Oh, they run?
No, they kick.
Also, what do you mean you met a guy at a dock?
It's a whole story.
The same guy?
It's the same guy.
There's a guy at the dock.
And he didn't like French
I
people.
think fight with your feet doesn't mean kick. I think that means run.
Yeah, true. I always took it as like kicking is unbecoming of a man who tussles with his fists. Bare knuckle brawls. I don't know.
Tussles with his fists.
You know, like
you just
real men, like
do the fisticuff sign.
Fighting Irish, like.
So this is how a man fights.
Yeah, with their fists.
Put your dukes up.
So yeah, I want to go to Rome, Venice, maybe a little other tour of Europe, just no France.
Okay, this means that you have to go to France at some point.
Not going.
I want to do, if we do a trip, I would love to do a Japan trip with y'all. That would be fun as shit, dog.
I'm down.
I'm down.
Eat a shitload of ramen.
Oh my, I would eat nothing else. Just maybe sushi to switch it up, but just ramen all day. Fuck, I want to go back.
I heard that they like take pictures of tall people over there. Like they like want to pose with you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tall and blonde.
Yeah, you would stick out.
You'd stick out like a sore
You'd be
thumb.
like so famous.
Yeah.
I'd pretend I'm Jokic.
I didn't see that. I didn't go with anybody tall and white, so I didn't.
Jokic isn't blonde.
Yeah, but
I think he's tall enough to offset that.
I feel like you get away with it. Like I'm Jokic.
I don't think you can get away with that.
Oh, you
if
saying you're
cut,
Jokic?
If I had a buzz cut,
no,
I don't think so.
I think I could.
You're like 6'3".
Do you think Japanese people like can't see or something? Like,
well, they might get a little confused because there's such a homogenous nation that I could see them thinking two white guys look the same.
What odd casual racism?
No, it's not. There's videos of guys pretending to be basketball players in Japan, and like everyone believes them.
I want that in my meme folder.
No.
What odd casual racism?
I really like the meme from our dozen match of you going. Oh,
well. Yeah, that was the GIF.
Brad,
that's pretty funny.
If you're wrong, I haven't seen the meme. Send me the meme. I haven't seen it.
But
there was a GIF.
That isn't. That's like Donnie was running around China pretending that he was Roger Federer.
He looks a little bit like him.
Yeah, he kind of does.
No, in a lot of Billy's statements, there's like a kernel of truth. I think that there is that aspect, like the trope in the United States is that people say like all people from Asia look alike. In Asia, a lot of people think that all white people look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know, some like events get seared into your memory for no real reason, but there was a doctor during the O.J. Simpson trial, and he was an Asian guy, and they were asking him about whether or not he recollected meeting a certain person. And he was like, I don't know, all white people look alike to me. And everybody laughed in the audience. And I was like, oh, that's funny. That's crazy that this kind of goes both ways sometimes. But I think, in a homogenous culture, I think it's much more likely that you would get confused and be more. I don't know. I still think that Jokic is a bridge too far for you, Billy.
The only reason I chose Jokic is because I saw this one video of this guy pretending to be Klay Thompson in Japan, and it's like he looks nothing like Klay Thompson. He's just wearing.
Is he walking around in the uniform?
Yeah, he's walking around in the uniform.
You could pass as Duncan Robinson.
That's the funniest shit in the world to me. Is when people do that shit, because that's not the first time I've seen that, where people dress in the exact uniform like as a sports player and walk around and people start taking pictures thinking that that's the sports player. That's how stupid like people, like it's just the dumbest shit in the world.
Like, look at the picture I sent you. Like that guy looks nothing like Klay Thompson.
I can see
just
for somebody like a casual, he's a light-skinned cat with a goatee.
He could pass.
I can see the resemblance, but if you walk around in the street with a uniform, like
so it's Sentinelese Islands from Billy, it's Japan from Arian, and it's Paris, France for Big T. What about you, Mad Dog?
I think us as a collective, I think Amsterdam would be fun with the legality of it all.
Big T in Amsterdam would be great.
100 subscribers. Slowly creeping up, man.
That
2 more years, baby.
Amsterdam because of like that, and then like I feel like we would also have fun on like a fun beach. Like maybe what if we open to like Ibiza together?
Who?
Ibiza.
What's that?
The Catalonian accent.
Ibiza. Well, I don't even know what country that is in.
Ibiza's technically Spain.
Spain. Yeah, Ibiza. I feel like that'd be kind of fun. I don't know, like either a beach or Amsterdam.
I feel like Ibiza is just like one of those places that you can't have fun unless you have like tons of money in a yacht.
Well, no, in this case scenario, we have that. We have people that have tons of money here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You got a yacht guy.
And you've got a yacht guy.
I do have a yacht guy. I don't know if he does transatlantic.
Yeah. We can find an Ibiza yacht guy.
I think we should go to Duluth.
I also
Duluth, Minnesota. Or to the Gathering of the Juggalos. That would also be sick.
I was in Minnesota last weekend. I am a huge fan now.
Juggalos?
Yeah, are you familiar with the Juggalos? Mm-mm. Insane Clown Posse fans. We talked about them. I think they do like a yearly meeting called the Gathering of the Juggalos. I want to say it might be in Illinois. It's somewhere out here in the Midwest.
Isn't it outside of Detroit?
I'm not sure. They are from Detroit. I know that. But they do this big giant meetup every year, and it just turns into a shit show every single. I think they stormed Tila Tequila's trailer one year when she was performing there.
Gathering of the Juggalos is in.
It's in a town called Cave and Rock. Right?
Oh, Novi, Michigan. The first one was in Novi, Michigan. Oh, it's in several locations. The last one was in Springfield, Indiana.
How many people go to these things?
Vanilla Ice performed.
I would guess maybe 10,000.
What the fuck? That's you got a little army.
Ice.
Oh yeah.
Ice Cube performed.
We should go. Yeah, we should go to one of those conventions and just with a whole bunch of like Eminem gear. Is that beef still alive?
Yeah. Guar.
That's all I know them for. Is he was like super banging on them. Shaggy was one of them, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Mackenzie, where would you like to see us go?
Personally, I would just say Ireland because I've always wanted to go there.
I've never been to Ireland.
That'd be fun to go to pubs.
Yeah, I was gonna say just go to like the oldest pubs in the world. You guys could go golfing. do some golf content.
Annoy all the Irish people by saying, "Hey, my family's from here."
Yeah,
and they're all like, "Get the fuck out."
Yes, exactly.
I haven't gone to Ireland just because all the Irish people I meet and try to say I'm Irish, they're always like, "Oh, where are you from?" Oh,
Ireland rocks. Ireland's awesome.
Yeah, my middle name is actually like named after the county Clare.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's Clare with no I.
I'll be over there for Donnie's wedding this summer.
Oh yeah. I hope they're
Very excited about
he
that.
wants to like make it content, so I hope they do.
Donnie wants to make his wedding content.
I think.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a blast. All right. Another voicemail?
This gift that you sent is poetry.
I love it.
So funny.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You can see how much I care about you in this.
I appreciate that.
Wyatt from Maine. Love the show. Billy, you're the man. Big T, grown to love you. But my question is, because I just saw a video about a Tasmanian tiger, and I feel like this is right in Billy's wheelhouse, but what is one extinct animal that you would want to bring back? All right. Love the show. Mad Dog and Arian, stay beautiful. Everyone else, stay handsome. Love you guys. Bye.
I've thought about this many times.
Shocking.
Pull back.
Realistically, you'd want to bring something back that like wasn't dangerous, but the cave bear. I want to bring back the cave bear. It is literally probably caused so much generational trauma to humans. Like when we like get chased by monsters in our dreams, it's definitely the cave bear, and it's just a gigantic bear.
Sounds rather dangerous.
Yeah, but like that wouldn't be the best choice from a Jurassic Park scenario.
Got it.
So maybe just a Beelzebufo, which is just a gigantic frog.
How gigantic?
How big?
They used to eat like velociraptors. It is about the size of a VW beetle.
It was a frog?
Yes.
And what's this called?
A Beelzebufo.
I like that idea.
Just because it would.
I like giant frog.
Just keep it. It would probably be as dangerous to keep as a large alligator or crocodile. Definitely could eat a human whole though. Or
I would go with either the dodo. The dodo bird is just sick. It's a cool looking bird. Looks pretty harmless.
The dodo is just stupid.
Yeah, well, it's a cool looking dumb bird. Who doesn't want that?
I would bring back dodos just to like hunt at a game preserve. They seem like the funniest things to like just shoot with a 12 gauge.
That's a classic human thing to say. I would bring back this animal that we made extinct just so I could kill more of it.
Because they were probably fun to kill. That's why they killed all of them.
That's why they're extinct.
Yeah.
Probably pretty easy to kill. I think the correct answer is just Jurassic Park. Bring back the T-Rex. We need to get on that, billionaires.
Allosaurus is way cooler than a T-Rex.
Well, you should have said Allosaurus. You already used your pick on the cave bear, idiot.
Yeah, but the cave bear is cooler.
Well, this is my pick, so I'm taking the T-Rex. We're bringing back T-Rex.
Got little stumpy arms.
It's fine. I'd bench more than it.
What the is there something specific about the cave bear that's different than the regular bears?
It's gigantic.
It's a bigger bear.
Yeah, it's probably the most apex predator of the mammalian time.
Huh.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Gigantopithecus.
Oh, true.
It's like the largest of the ape. It's our cousin. He's the largest motherfucker ever to walk as an ape. They're like 10 feet tall, some shit like that? 8 to 10 feet tall? Huge.
Now we have the modern day grizzly bear versus gorilla. Who would win, Gigantopithecus or cave bear?
How big was the cave bear?
Cave bear is about 7 to 8 feet tall at the shoulder.
So about the same size if it stood up on its hind legs.
No, on its hind legs, it would probably be like 20 feet tall.
20 feet tall?
Yeah.
What? Ain't no bear 20 feet tall.
Cave bear standing. At the shoulder, like I'm saying at the shoulder when it's walking on all fours, it's about 7 to 8 feet tall. So standing up, it would probably be...
No. The cave bear had an overall body length of 8 feet to 11 feet.
That's not
so Gigantopithecus bigger.
No, but that's not including, that's snout to vent. That doesn't count the legs.
What? Legs wouldn't factor into the height.
Well, yeah.
Well, I guess the back legs.
Yeah, when standing on its back legs. It's probably polar bears are 11 feet when they stand up, so I'm guessing conservatively this is 15 to 16 feet when standing up.
I don't know, man.
I got Gigantopithecus by submission.
Yeah. Yeah. The Gigantopithecus with jujitsu.
Yeah.
Beats bear.
Best warrior of all time. Anybody else?
Saber-toothed tiger. And I want one at Preds games in a cage in the tunnel where the opposing team comes into the arena. You got to walk by it.
And the penalty box is you just have to get into the cage with the Smilodon.
Yeah, have one hanging right over the visitor's penalty box.
It'd be awesome.
Specifically, you got to pick Smilodon for saber-tooth tiger.
For once, I never thought I'd say this. I will trust your judgment.
Smilodon. Yeah, Smilodon's the biggest, baddest saber-tooth.
It's funny that you brought up LSU with Mike the Tiger. That gives off Tim Biakabatuka vibes, where it's like this exotic animal, and they just named him Mike.
Is there a reason for that?
There probably is. It's a great name.
Maybe they
did
just name him Mike. I don't know.
All right. Anybody else?
I like a mammoth. I'd like to have a mammoth back.
I bet mammoth pups or whatever you call them would be cute as hell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see. You know how people like go to Africa and have pictures of them like petting elephants? I'd like that like with a mammoth. Were mammoths?
All right.
Wait, were mammoths violent?
Yeah.
No, I want
you probably have you probably have ancestors that died hunting woolly mammoths.
Whoa.
Think about that.
Then they deserved it.
I still want one.
Fun fact real quick about Mike the Tiger. So Mike the Tiger was purchased by LSU because every LSU student gave 25 cents. They fundraised for Mike. They bought him for $750 from the Little Rock Zoo. And it got brought onto campus 1936. And then in the 1950s, Tulane fans kidnapped Mike the Tiger before the game. That's pretty awesome. And they spray painted him green.
I was just fixing to say, we need more old school college pranks because shit like that used to happen all the time. And now nobody does anything cool like that.
Yeah,
security's too good.
Wait,
I am fully condoning somebody kidnapping a mascot, a whole human inside of the costume.
Or like
kidnap that motherfucker.
The Notre Dame leprechaun. It's just a dude, a short guy.
Kidnapping.
Yeah.
But short dude you see in Ann Arbor. Where the fuck is not Ann Arbor? Where's
South Bend?
South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend. First small dude you see, put him in a trunk.
You're only allowed to kidnap them in costume. It's not funny if they're not out of costume.
Was it Kansas State who had the mascot that was just the head?
Yeah.
And then his like regular arms
and
stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That would be fire. So if I am somebody in the Big 12, I'm kidnapping a mascot of Dion's mascot. I'm doing
the Buffalo, Ralphie.
I'm doing something like that. I'm spray painting. I'm doing something to the Buffalo to get that rivalry cracking.
Pac-12.
Because you now have, is it Pac-12? Okay. You now have to compete with selling tickets and recruiting kids against Deion Sanders. You got to do something to stoke that fire. You know what I mean? You got to do something.
Imagine Utah just comes out of the locker room with Ralphie the Buffalo after he goes missing.
Fire. That's what we
be awesome.
That shit would get so many people like into it. You know what I mean?
Deion giving a press conference after his first game where he's complaining about the fact that his mascot got stolen out of the locker room instead of, remember at Jackson State when he was like, somebody stole my wallet.
Stuff, yeah.
What?
You can't kidnap Bevo. Bevo has the best security detail in Texas.
Bevo will kill you.
So Ralphie, people forget.
But Bevo has shown signs of aggression recently.
Yeah. What's Bevo?
The Longhorn at Texas. Tried to kill Uga.
Really?
Probably would have been a net positive, but
it's just
hey, we talking about killing dogs.
It goes to show that
specifically Uga.
Just one.
Just one. English bulldogs
just the one.
have totally like the fact that Uga wasn't trying to do what bulldogs used to do to bulls to Bevo is just like shows like how far that breed has gone down. Like English
bulldogs can't play in this era.
Yeah, bulldogs can't play in this. American bulldogs could probably still play, but English bulldogs
bulldogs great again.
That's actually a good point, Billy. Like that, if there's one animal that should be a fair fight, it would be the bulldog against a bull.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure that they were actually bred to deal with bulls.
No, they were.
It might just be a name.
No, they were. They were supposed to back bulls into corners.
Okay. Well, yeah, Bevo should have stepped up to the occasion. When the lights were brightest, he shrunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just kidnap you kidnap any short person from South Bend, and you're like, I've got the leprechaun. He's like, I don't even go to the university. I'm just 5'2".
Or you come out
and a ginger.
Ralphie or Bevo's missing, and you just come out, run out with like a cow skull with the longhorns or a bison skull.
You kidnap it and kill it.
I mean, there's a bison skull, no, cow skull right behind Mackenzie right now. Running out with that. That'd be pretty cool. They killed.
All right, we have any other voicemails?
Yeah, we got one more.
Hi, Macrodosing. I'm a lady doser, Alyssa here from Chicago. I love hearing from you guys how excited you are to be moving here to the Midwest. We are so happy to have you. I kind of have a two-part question about your move. So the question is, what are you most looking forward to when you guys come to Chicago? And then also, what is one thing that you think is going to be a little bit overrated? And this can apply mostly to like activities and things to do, and then also to the Chicago food scene. Like I said, can't wait to see you guys. Welcome to the Midwest, and stay handsome, stay gorgeous.
I'm wearing my Wrigley shirt right now. And PFT's in Chicago.
I think the pizza is going to be overrated. I don't know.
It is.
I don't know. But I have a thing for New York pizza. Every time I go to New York, I get pizza from New York. And like I hate ordering pizza here in Texas because it's like, it's just trash, right? It's just not good pizza. You don't get good pizza. Like out there is the best pizza I've had. I'm afraid I'm going to go to New York. It's a deep dish shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no.
Okay, talk to me.
Like that's the touristy thing that people know, but then they'll tell you in Chicago the like actual Chicago pizza is like really thin, like
tavern
thinner
style.
than New York.
Yeah, tavern style. And it's square.
And it's good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got someplace last time I was in Chicago. It was that style and had like a spicy sauce. It was very good.
Like that.
The deep dish is a great meal to eat like once or twice and then go take a nap for 9 hours right afterwards. Just it feels like a brick in your stomach.
I don't think I've ever had a deep dish. What about hot dogs? Like for some reason I think Chicago and think hot dogs. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
They have Chicago style hot dogs, yeah.
I love their dogs and they get real mad if you put ketchup on it. So I'm going to start doing hot dog reviews where I just put a shitload of ketchup on it.
I'm down.
I think
the Malort has not been great. I've been drinking a lot of Malort recently.
What is that?
Hell. It's hell in a bottle. It's I think it's made out of wormwood. And it's just it does taste like
wood or wormwood.
Worm.
It's wormwood. Okay.
It tastes like if somebody puked up gasoline.
Mm-hmm. And battery acid.
And is that native to Chicago?
Yes.
I think there's one company that makes it and it's based out of Chicago and it's become like a prank where people, the vast majority of shots of Malort are ordered either as a dare or as a prank on somebody that doesn't know any better, that doesn't know what they're about to drink.
Yeah. That's what happened to me.
I think the gun violence is going to be overrated. I don't think it's as bad as everyone says.
Okay. I think they were talking about like hot dogs and stuff.
I think for like a week, you should probably just get off the internet. Like just maybe like a week. See what happens to your brain.
That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
We should do a Billy 1 week no internet challenge.
Internet cleanse.
I am down with this.
You don't even have to do a week from today to Monday when we record next.
Are you saying I have to go take a vacation?
If that, I'm not at liberty. I think you should just. I don't know. You can't get on the internet though.
Aside from like daily tasks, GPS, if you got to Uber somewhere, something like that, but no YouTube, no Reddit, no Instagram, no Twitter. 4 days.
I would be unable to do my job.
Yeah. See, this is where Billy's going with. He has a point where he's kind of obligated to be online.
I have to sift through a lot of trash to get good topics.
To get better trash.
Yeah. To get. To find
good trash.
To find the first discovered albino panda, I have to go through a lot of bad videos.
Billy goes dumpster diving through the internet and once a day pulls out like an old brass candle or candle holder that he found. And he's like, look, it's not even that rusty.
Then he melt it.
He's like the Little Mermaid was a little hoarder. That reminds me. Have you seen the new Mermaid?
I haven't. Is it woke?
Well, of course she's black, but it's fucking horrible, bro. That's my take on it. I know people that have seen it and think it's good. It was dog shit to me. It was so bad. It's like they kept elements, but like they decided to add a song for Eric
to replace Kiss.
The worst Disney song I may have ever heard in my life. I was literally laughing. We had to stop. I was with my, I don't even know what to call her, man. My really good friend. And we were sitting next to this couple and I was laughing during the song. It was hard for me to contain myself of how horrible it was. Maybe it's just my old pessimism and my bias kicking in because I loved The Little Mermaid, but it was just horrible, man. But I will say, Melissa McCarthy killed that shit. She killed Ursula. She killed that shit. But other than that, 1.5 ass cheeks.
Is
not even a full butt.
Nope.
On the ass cheek scale, the more cheeks you get, it's worse.
No, it's better.
So
wait.
So then the worst movie possible would be 0 ass cheeks.
No ass cheeks.
Got it. So the more ass something is, the better it is.
I'm thinking I should switch that.
Yeah,
I should switch that.
Yeah, if it's booty.
No ass cheeks, it's good.
3.5 ass cheeks.
Out of 5?
Out of 5 ass cheeks.
Wait,
but 5 asses total.
5.
Oh, 5. So it's out of 10.
So it's 10
this is getting
cheeks.
very confusing.
Yeah, I have no clue where we're even
it's
at
gonna be
right
10.
now.
Okay, it's gonna be 10 cheeks total, and I rate this one 7.5 ass cheeks.
Meaning it's
7.5.
75% as bad as it possibly could be.
The inverse of that, which would
wait, Aaron, the scale keeps getting more complicated because now you've made
big
3 1/4 asses.
Big 3 1/4.
Yeah, that's a cool.
Yeah,
7.
Because you got think about it, Aaron. You got 7 ass cheeks.
No, I said 7.5 ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. All right, so think about it. 6 wait, Aaron. Wait. 6 ass
4.
cheeks. Wait. 6 ass cheeks would be how many asses?
3. It's 3
yes. So then we add another ass cheek to get to 7. So now you've got 3 asses and then 1 cheek.
Half a cheek. There's 2 cheeks per ass.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm going to add the next.
On your
you've got
4th ass, you have 1.5 cheeks. So you have 3.75 total asses.
No, y'all are doing way too much. It's 6 asses and a half. Wait, no, that would be.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we got it right.
So it'd have to be a half. Okay.
No, it can be whatever you want. This is your made up nonsensical system.
That's facts. It's 7.5 ass cheeks.
Okay.
How you want to splice it, dog?
Half-ass scored.
Nice one, Billy. Actually, wouldn't the perfect rating be one ass? It would be 2 ass cheeks because like an ass is nice.
No, but you want to slap them.
Okay, so not good asses. These are gross asses.
No.
The more ass cheeks, because the premise of it is the movie was cheeks. It was ass. You know
okay.
And so the least amount of cheeks is the better quality of the film.
Good movie would be 0 cheeks.
0 cheeks, man. We get that shit 0 cheeks. It was Avatar. 0 fucking cheeks, bro.
All right.
So what are you guys excited about for Chicago?
Yeah. I am excited for my apartment. It's a sick apartment. Brand new building.
Sick view.
Yeah, it's a cool apartment. I finally have like windows and an actual bedroom and like a pool and stuff like that. So that's cool. Overrated. I've been to Chicago twice, each for 24 hours. So I haven't done a lot. That bean thing seems overrated. That seems kind of dumb.
The art installation.
Yeah,
most public art things are dog shit.
Yeah, that's your taxpayer dollars at work.
I don't. You're not arguing for me there.
And then food. I don't know. Was the question food that you think will be good or overrated?
Good.
Didn't really specify.
Good. I guess good. We can be positive here.
I don't know. Yeah, it seems like a fine food scene.
Mm-hmm.
Very good food. I've had a lot of good food out here. Good Mexican food too. One of the best Mexican food cities in the country. I am thinking that the winter is going to suck. The winter is going to be 10 full ass cheeks out here. It's going to be bad. It's going to be like people should not live in this type of cold. And yet the whole city somehow agrees to do it. I don't like that. I'm getting spoiled right now because the weather's awesome. I've been grilling on the roof just about every night. I played some golf, been outdoors a lot. It seems incredible, but I just know there's a sense of impending doom where 6 months from now, I'm going to be just completely miserable outside.
Do you have a garage?
Yep.
So you don't even have to go outside.
Well, you do have to go outside. You have to exist outside of the city.
No, I mean, think about it. If you wanted to, you go from your house to your garage to the office.
The new office is a parking lot, though, so you have to go outside to get to inside.
It's still going to be cold, and the cold sucks.
Your reserved spot will probably be very close to the door.
Right, exactly.
The cold weather is going to be tough. It's going to be like negative 10 degrees.
That 5 seconds from the car to the door will be pretty tough.
Yeah.
There's also
my mom was married to my stepdad, obviously, and he's from Chicago, and so they always go up there. She was like, when I told her the office was moving to Chicago, she's like, "Ooh, you gonna hate that? It's cold as shit." That's what she said.
Yeah. There's battles over shoveling snow on the sidewalk, or not the sidewalk, but on the street for your parking spot. People get very territorial about their parking spot, so they'll get out there early, start shoveling, put up traffic cones. They're like, "This is where I'm parking." People get in a fight over that all the time out here. There's actually laws in place, I think, where if you shovel a spot, it becomes yours. Which I agree with that. Like if you put the work in, but people start getting up early in the morning, start shoveling, making sure they got their territory marked out. It's going to be a whole culture. Winter culture in Chicago is going to be very interesting.
Oh, is that Thomas? Was it Thomas Paine? One of those philosophers. Work equals ownership. Like if you work on a thing, you own it.
All right, good episode, guys. I give this episode 3 ass cheeks.
I like that the cheeks, like I think 2. I give it 2 because that's a suitable amount.
So
it's a nice ass.
Yep.
With that, 2 cheeks.
2 cheeks. All right, we will see you guys next Tuesday for Nanodosing. Mm-hmm. Excited about that. I actually should be back in studio on Monday to record that. So we'll have everybody minus Arian in the studio. Be on the lookout for the dozen. When did your guys' episode air?
It aired
last night.
Yeah. Any wrap up thoughts on how the tournament went for you guys?
Poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost, but it was my first, year. I was rookie. I didn't have a good rookie year, but if you follow my career trajectory, I have a good rookie year, and then the next year I led the league of rushing. So
we're gonna be getting a bag soon.
I'm gonna hunker down. That's facts. I'm gonna hunker down. I'm gonna get in my trivia bag, and we're gonna dominate this shit next year because I'm in it now. I'm in it to win it, and I want a rematch with that motherfucker. What's his name?
Kirk
Minahan.
Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he loves you, Arian.
So, yeah, I mean, because he understands. You know what I'm saying? He was talking long shit, and I couldn't say nothing back.
I did.
Because I was ass at the game. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to sit there and take this nigga talking shit to me, which I hate. But next year, I want that championship, and I'm going for that shit. I don't fuck. We playing for that shit. Because we got the two best people in the league, I think. This nigga, Big T's sports prowess is unreal.
Not the
and
other
Mad
day.
Dog's like pop culture happens, brother. Mad Dog's pop culture shit is unreal, right? I had nothing but vibes, and I'm gonna pick this shit up next year.
I think some of their topics, like some of the there's like a weird choose TV shows thing. I think you guys got screwed. I think you guys played excellent.
Thanks, Billy.
I think your teamwork.
Agreed.
I watched it live. Your teamwork was amazing. The trust you had in each other. Like Mad Dog said, "The man," and everyone was like, "But the chorus is I'm the man." But like Mad Dog, like everyone was like, "No, let her take it," and she hit her free throws.
Yeah, she hit her free throws. It's facts.
Yeah.
And we had a black celebrity mashup.
Yeah.
That helped out tremendously. Thank you, Chef D-Lo.
Yeah. I'll defend my teammates to the end of time. I'll stand up for my boys.
100.
And sometimes that comes at a cost. But I'll stand up for my guys.
League's on notice.
League's on notice. Yeah, you were part of the other team. You the other them. You're the them.
Mm-hmm.
I am the them. So we will see you guys next week on Nanodosing on Tuesday, Macrodosing on Thursday. And yeah, love you guys.